na sydd yn mae'r cefnogwyr wastad yn creu lot o sŵn, felly mae'n lle hwyl i fynd.
Mae stafelloedd newydd ni yn dal yn eitha hen, so mae lot o'r hen quotes a memorabilia dal o gwmpas y lle, so yn sicr pryd ni yn waren yn ôl, ni ddim yn cymryd yn ganiatol a ni'n gwybod pa mor special yw'r lle.
Mae pawb yn falch o weld Castell Neath nôl yn yr uwch gyngor ac am leoliad i wario rygbi o dan y llif o leadau. Castell Neath yn erbyn Pen y Bont i'n gêm fewn ni o'r Lexstan Gnoll. Ger mai dyna yw enw swyddogol y stadiwm erbyn hyn. Dwi ddim yn dywydd i dorheilio heno. Mae yn dywydd i wario rygbi yn y gorllewin yng Nghymru Neath yn Bryw, cyn Asgellwr, Castell Neath a cyn gefnwr Caerdydd, Pontypridd, Casnewydd, Rygbi Gogledd Cymru, fi di anghofio un llawer chamadyn. A wnawn ni ddechrau gyda Castell Neath, atgofion braf dwi'n Cymru Nathan, ond mae'n bell, dwi ddim wedi bod yn dechrau delfrydol i'r clwb eleni.
Na, dim yn gwbl. Pan ydych chi'n ystyried falle a ffaith nhw'n jyst i dod lan, bydden nhw'n siŵr o fod wedi cael disgwyliadau realistig yn dod mewn, ond ar yr un pryd fi'n nabod Pat Hogan yn dda iawn, a mae fe'n uchelgeisiol iawn gyda meddylfryd buddigol, a bydde fe siŵr fod yn rwystredig gyda perfformiad. Ond ar yr un pryd, maen nhw wedi cael ei effeithio gan lot fawr anafiadau, chwaraewyr ddim ar gael hefyd. Felly, siŵr o fod bydden nhw'n targedu gêm yma hyn am cael y buddigoliaeth cyntaf.
Ond fydd Pen y Bont hefyd yn targedu'r gêm, achos maen nhw yn ysgwyl odion y tabl hefyd. Eithon nhw rediad go dda ar ddiwedd tymor diwetha, ond heb ennill ers diwedd mis Medi tymor hwn.
Yndi, mae bach o sioc gweld Pen y Bont tuag at y gwylodion mond i ennill 2 gêm allan o 7. Edrych ar ei sgwad, mae'n sgwad cry yna, di arwyddo'n dda dros y 2 dymor dwytha. Felly, bach o sioc, ond maen nhw wedi ennill 2, ond 2 gêm agos hefyd yn erbyn Caerdydd y Glynebwy o fewn cic i gael buddigoliaeth eto fanna. Felly, fydden nhw'n yn sicr yn targedu hyn yma ac sbarduno i tymor ymlaen eto.
Gadewch i ni atgoffa chi o le mae bob tîm yn y tabl. Dyma sut mae'r tabl yn edrych. Mae Llan ymddyfru nôl ar y brig ar ôl buddigoliaeth yn erbyn Pen y Bont. 3 o glybiau Gwent yn dyn tu ôl i Llan ymddyfru, Pontypŵl, Glynebwy a Chasnewydd yn cwblhau'r 4 ucha. Ar y gwaelod, Castell Neath yn dal i aros am buddigoliaeth gyda'r tymor. A'i heno yw'r noson, wel mae Neath yn Bryw wedi'n gadael ni i sgwrsio gyda'r tîm castra.
Diolch Lauren, a dwi lawr ar y ca, a mae rai gweud, mae fe'n cymryd fi nôl i pan o'n i'n ware yma, a mae'r ca, bod yn deg, yn berffaith, ansawdd y ca yn berffaith, pan ych chi'n ystyried falle y ffaith bod wedi bod yn bwrw glaws. Felly, diolch cael gael gyda'r captain, Ryan Evans, sydd yn twymo lan. Fan hyn, Ryan, siwt ti?
Ie, good job.
So, ges i'n cyfle i siarad gyda Pat yn gynharach, oedd hi'n gweud bod, actually, mae fe'n falch gyda'r ffordd ych chi wedi ymdopi ar 7 colled cyntaf. Fel ych chi wedi ymdopi a fel ych chi wedi falle paratoi ar gyfer y gêm yma?
Wel, Jed, wrth ystyried y dechreuad ni wedi cael, mae moral a ysbryd y tîm yn eitha dda i fod yn deg. Fel dwi'n gweud, i ystyried bod 7 colled yn barod. Mae fe'n eitha positif. Mae ran paratoi ar gyfer y gêm heno. Ni wedi cael y bwyntio lot ar y llinell, ar y scrum, achos mae'r ymwneud ddim y gorau, ond fel ti'n gweud, mae'r car yn cyfle rili dda.
Great stuff, diolch Ryan. Top job, diolch Pwlwch. Right, awn ni draw na falle i'r blaenwyr. Dyma i fi ble mae'r gêm yn mynd i cael ei ennill heno. Felly, dwi'n mynd i o Chris Morris. Chris, allai dwy'n chi yn gloi, please, diolch. Siwt ti iawn? Ie, gyda diolch.
Siwmain.
So Chris, ni jyst yn gweud, mae'r brwydr ymlith y blaenwyr yn mynd i bod yn hanfodol o bwysig hyn ond rwe.
Ydy, mae wedi bod yn dechrau'r anodd i'r gamp a blwyddyn hyn, ond ni'n rili meddwl bod hyn o lle fod cyfle i ni cael y buddigoliaeth gyntaf flwyddyn.
Mae'n bwysig mae wedi cael y gorechafiaeth yn y lle cyntaf.
Ydy, mor belled, ni wedi dechrau bob gêm yn eitha araf. Ni wedi bod yn rhoi 14 pwynt i bob tîm o'r belled, so pwrpas hyn o dechrau'n gloi ac cael cwbl o bwyntiau gynnar yn y gêm.
Diolch fawr, diolch Chris, diolch. Nw'n ti Lauren.
Diolch Nathan, ni nawr yn mynd i cael cwmni Alfie Llywelyn o dîm Pen y Bont. Brawd i Max Llywelyn, mab i Gareth, ond yn bwysicach na hynny, cyn ddisgybl i Llawarch ap Myrddin. A fi safod, nath e dysgu ti, ond nath e fforddi ti, sy'n ni'n oedd e fel y fforddwr?
I fod yn onest, oedd actually fforddwr eitha dda. Oedd mynd mewn i chweched, oedd y cam o ble fi chwarae cyn i mynd mewn i chweched. Oedd yn yn enfawr, ac oedd Llywach di... Bys fi ddim fan hyn nawr os oedd e ddim i Llywach, so...
Alf, ti'n glen, Moit, ti'n glen. Ti'n iawn?
Mae'n mynd yn goth fan hyn, ond cwestiwn ar y gêm i ddechrau, Alfie. So chi di ennill ers diwedd mis Medi, faint o hyder sy'n y garfan bod chi'n gallu troi pethau rownd hyn o?
Mae yna lot o hyder i fod yn onest. Ni ddim di ennill, ond ni wedi chwarae top tîmau ac ni wedi bod ti fewn cais i pob tîm. Wythnos diwetha yna fyna, ond efo'r top tîmau ni wedi bod fewn un cais, so mae'n hyder mynd mewn i gêm hyn, ni'n hyderus, ni'n fancy chances ni.
Da iawn, good stuff. Mae'n dda, mae'n briliant gweld chdi'n camio fyny i'r safon yma. Sut ti wedi gweld dymor cyntaf ti hyd yma yn yr uwch gyngred?
Mae'r cam yn eitha fawr i fod yn nes o'r Championship. Mae popeth yn cyflymach, mae popeth yn mwy physical, ac ond sa'n teimlo'n mas o place neu unrhyw beth, ond dwi'n just trio gwella pob gêm, cymryd un gêm ar y tro.
Wel, mwynha heno, ti'n ôl yng Nghlwb dy deulu di, dy dad yn gyn-gapten Castell Neath, felly braf yn ôl ar y nôl, pob lwc i ti a diolch am dy gwmni, a ni nawr yn mynd i fy nôl i ffeindio Nathan Brew sy'n cael cwmni un o'r hyfforddwyr.
Diolch, Laura, diolch. O'n i'n gobeithio cael cyfweliad gyda prif hyfforddwr Tom Smith, but second choice, Matthew Jones will do. Matthew, if you were to give us 3 priorities that you wanted to focus on as a team coming into this game, what would they be?
From a defence aspect, look, it's important that we don't start jumping up the line in defence and trying to become individualised. It's important we stay connected, trust the process and don't make the decisions for the attack. And the second one would be speed of fold in defence. In these conditions, if we can get some good width in our D, get bodies in front to bring some line speed, there's a good chance we will start winning collisions. And then from an attack perspective, it's just energy to reload into position, speed to reload, and have two-sided attack, really take away the Neath line speed. As we said, conditions aren't great, so both defences want to get off the line, but if we can get to the middle of the park and have two sides to attack there, we can hopefully take away their line speed.
Great stuff. Cheers, Beth. All the best.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Diolch ti, Lauren.
Mae trafod Nathan yn rhedeg nôl i ymuno â ni dyma beth arall sydd ar y ffordd am i Rugby S4C. Y Scarlets yn erbyn y Lions yn fyw ar S4C nos Sadwrn am 5 o'r gloch. Mae 2 gêm ddydd Sul, y dreigen heriol Leinster yn fyw am 1 o'r gloch ac ail ddarllediad o'r gwylch yn erbyn Glasgow i ddilyn am 5 munud ar 24. Fi'n falch iawn nawr o ddweud mae brif hyfforddwr Castell Neath, Patrick Hogan, yn ymuno â ni. Patrick, firstly, look, how big an opportunity is tonight for you? 2 teams desperate for a win. Bridgend perhaps haven't travelled that well on the road this season. How much confidence is in that squad?
We're still confident. Every game we go into is good spirit in the team, and they work pretty hard for each other. If we can get parity in the set piece, I think we put on a decent show. But our problem has been the set piece all season, and it's just so difficult against some of the teams who've been together so long. They understand what they do, and they've been playing at a higher standard than most of my boys. So, but we're getting better week by week.
You've gone with Christian Jones at 12 and Steph Williams at 10. Are you looking to win that territory game tonight?
That would be good, yeah. It's something we concentrate on. We played against Evervale out here, and they masters at it. And it's something we've learned as the season has gone on. When we're giving knock-ons away, or we're getting set pieces around the halfway line in that grey area, it's resulting in usually a line out in our 22, and we struggle to cope with that. So it's one area we've been looking at, is trying to get our field position and keeping teams out of our half, really.
Patrick, just minutes to go until the game gets underway, so we're going to let you go and join your team, or your coaching staff. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much. Ni yn mynd i cymryd cybolog ar un o chwaraewyr Pen y Bont nawr, Ed Howley, a mae'n chwaraewr, wel, falle eitha anabyddus i ambell un, achos at fideo honno fe'n viral llynedd, ond dyma clipio fe eleni, a mae'n un sy'n gallu curo am ddiffynwyr, sy'n edrych yn beryglus gyda'r bel yn ei ddwylo llawar.
Ddim yn iwsio i ben i sgorio'r ceisio yma, ond ti'n meddwl chwaraewr da, o'n i chwarae fo'n Gaerdydd, nath o gadw fi allan o tîm Gaerdydd, ges i'r bwt i'r asgell, pan fod o fewn, felly mae chwaraewr da, mae'n gallu sgorio ceisio, so swn i'n syni gweld o yn tirio hyn yma, cyn chwaraewr yn ebyn i Casnewydd, so dwi'n siŵr bod o eisiau gêm na hynna.
Nathan pen ar y bloc fel ti'n gweld hon yn mynd?
Fel wedi sy'n mae Castell Neath yn mynd i targedu gyda. Ni wedi sôn amdano tactegau yn barod, a maen nhw'n mynd i roi bel tu ôl i Pen y Bont ac o'r fod i nhw ar felly i fi Castell Neath.
Good, wel mae Pen y Bont wedi ennill 3 o'r 5 gêm diwetha ar yr Gnoll, felly bydden nhw'n hyderus bod nhw'n gallu gadael gyda fuddugoliaeth heno. There's English language commentary available with Nathan Brew and Sean Hawley, ond yn y Gymraeg mae Llywarch Ap Myrddin ar fi'n ymuno a Rhys ap William.
The Bridgend coaches make 6 changes plus 2 positional ones after losing at home to Llandyfri. The experienced Joe Gatt and Chris Williams come in at centre and scrum half respectively. The new men up front include front rowers Gareth Harvey and young loosehead Alex George. Ben Thomas at lock. Justin Merriman is at open side tonight, and top try scorer Jordan Collier switches to number 8. Special night, of course, and a respectful Neath Rugby armistice acknowledgement. So there will be some silence as the Neath team are cheered on by the Gnoll faithful. A ground steeped in history, of course. So many great players have run on to that field from those changing rooms. Neath back in the Indigo Welsh Premiership. Captain Ryan Evans with a mascot. Plenty of mascots with the Neath team tonight.
To the match officials at all times. Thank you.
There will be a moment's silence, and Mr. Mark Smith from the British Legion Band in Llanelli will sound the last post. Also, respectful memories of former WRU President Dennis Gethin and Neath Rugby stalwart Mike Messenger will be acknowledged here at the Gnoll tonight.
Mr. Mayor will blow his whistle after the first post. Please remain silent because we can back in with the bugle with the valley to finish off. So please bear that in mind. After the last post, please remain silent. Sadly, Neath Rugby has recently learned of the passing of a couple of his former players, namely Dennis Gethin and Mike Messenger, two absolute gentlemen and great rugby players, and our condolences are with the families at the moment and friends. That's Mr. Dennis Gethin and Mr. Mike Messenger. Okay, with Armistice Weekend almost with us tonight, we salute our fallen heroes. Many played for Neath Rugby and I'm sure Bridgend Rugby during the wars and the conflicts. But we salute our fallen heroes. They shall grow old, not grow old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
Mr. Mark Smith on the bugle of the British Legion Band Llanelli in respect of Armistice weekend, and Dennis Gethin, the former WRU president, and Mike Messenger, Neath Rugby stalwart, sadly lost recently. Huge respect showed by the Neath faithful and all the Bridgend fans here, and so to the match. The Bridgend coaches make 6 changes plus 2 positional ones after losing at home to Llandovery. The experienced Joe Gatt and Chris Williams come in at centre and scrum half respectively. The new men up front include front rowers Gareth Harvey and young loosehead Alex George, with Ben Thomas at lock. Iestyn Merriman is at open side, and top try scorer Jordan Collier switches to number 8. Well, that was the Bridgend team. Neath actually makes 7 changes to the last loss, 38-7 at Llandovery. As I say, Bridgend have lost 4 on the bounce. They'll be looking upon top try scorer Jordan Collier, who now wears the number 8 shirt. And Luke Price, of course, former Ospreys outside half, will be pulling the strings. And referee tonight is Elliot Mayer, with his able assistants Elgin Williams and Gareth Jabrowski on the touchlines. So, eagerly anticipated match, both sides in the bottom half of the Indigo Welsh Premiership. And referee gets us underway as Stephen Williams with the kick-off. Bridgend collect that just outside the 22. Pitch is in reasonable condition. We've had terrible rain in the Neath Port area all day, as most of South Wales have had. But it's dried up, I'm pleased to say. We now have a pretty good night here at the Gnoll. Well, that's in no man's land. A bit of a struggle for Ryan Griffiths.
Nah, I couldn't do anything about it.
Early knock on and an early chance for Bridgend on the halfway line. I'm joined by Nathan Brew tonight. Nathan, as I say, not a lot of wins of late from either team, but this is a chance to get a W on the board.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a game that both teams are actually targeting to try and get that win. I think that, you know, you look at the form at the minute, and you probably think that Bridgend has probably got the upper edge in terms of perhaps experience and quality, particularly in the forwards. But yeah, definitely a game that could go either way. As you mentioned earlier, the weather's held off, which is great. I was on the pitch a little earlier. The pitch is actually in great condition considering it's been raining. So yeah, looks forward to being a great humdinger.
The shoulder, Blue. Shoulder.
That's against young Alex George on the loose head. Still playing for Ospreys under 18s. He's young George, Bridgend College man. And chance here for Stephen Williams. Well, he's looking to the right-hand side. Interesting tactic from Pat Hogan's men into the air. A good kick just outside the 22, followed up by Christian Jones, wearing 12 tonight. Formerly of Llandovery, 114 appearances Jones for Llandovery before switching to the Welsh All Blacks. Referees right in the passing channel there.
Yeah, Neath showing their intent from the off. Pat mentioned a little earlier, he's obviously Stefan and Christian, they're 10 and 12 for that kicking game, but equally put some pressure perhaps on the back three of Bridgend. So I think that this has the opportunity to be a fast-flowing game with the weather holding off, and they've got two good, strong sets of backs to like to play as well. So hopefully we'll see a ball in hand this evening.
So let's see if we get a full scrum battle in this one. Free kick against Alex George on the last scrum. That's a better scrum. Nice and solid from the visitors. Just takes a little look up, across a lot of space over that left-hand side, but the experienced Aaron Bramwell now can counter-attack for Neath from full-back. Just loses his footing a little bit as he gets up to the halfway line. And Chris Morgan's late named scrum half. And here he is, plenty of experience, gives it out on the left to Ryan Griffiths in the scrum half. Good covering tackle coming in from Merriman. Here come Neath. Bridgend all over that ball, but Morgans has it. Chris Morris, the hooker, into the 22 now. Little pick and go coming, this time from Tim Ryan. Player, assistant coach. And here come Neath rumbling on, pick and go, shades of the 80s and 90s. Oh, and just couldn't get away, Jack Powell.
No, knock on only.
Just a knock on.
Okay, he's in the tackle.
And Nathan, you can see the intent from Neath. Pick and go around the fringes, getting good yards.
Yeah, definitely they've got the the tail between the legs, as they say, and they're going for it. I think this break by Ryan Griffiths, he did well there, and then in fairness, the support there to get there. Chris Morgan's called in the last minute to play. Obviously, he's right up on the pace of the game at the minute at the stand, and he's getting the forwards coming off him, which is great, and it's putting a bit of pressure on the Bridgend defence. Unfortunate there with obviously that hand coming in, stopping them from scoring a potential try in the corner.
Yeah, Stuart Floyd Ellis on the right wing, moved from centre for this one. Just managed to wrap his arms. So the referee said it was a knock-on only, not a deliberate one. But a great attacking position here for Neath. Another free kick. Morgans goes quick. Chance for Neath here now. A little pop ball to Christian Jones in the centre. Here come Neath, the forwards round the corner. That's the 5-metre line. Good start to the game from the home team, but it's been spilled and hacked downfield. It's a foot race. Plenty of gas in that Bridgend backline. Can he get a good kick? Yes, he can. It's all about the gas now. Is he going to fall over the touchline? Yes, it does. Well, what a breakaway score for Bridgend Ravens. An opportunist moment. And guess who it was? Somebody you, Nathan Brew, highlighted before the game. It's the gas man, Ed Howley, at fullback.
Yeah, and when it comes down to pure foot race there's only one winner, wasn't there? Opportunist try, as you rightly described it there. Neath so close to getting that, getting over that whitewash against Bridgend, that unfortunately spilling the ball, I think it was, and then great vision, booted downfield, and then foot race between him and the winger, and there's only one winger at the winner at the minute with the pace that Ed Howley's got. Well,
it looked like Neath were going to score just meters from the line. Was there a hand in there or just a leg, a stray leg? And it was all about this kick, wasn't it?
Yes, great. I mean, this guy's running full pelt, and we've seen him score fantastic tries before with his head, so we know what he can do and the skill level of the individual, and he's running full pelt, 100%, and able to control that ball, put it right in front of him, and score a fantastic try.
Not the easiest of first kicks at goal for Luke Price, but plenty of experience. Former Ospreys outside half. 65 points to his name so far this season, and that's a beautiful kick from the number 10. Not a breath of wind here, Nathan, and that's a good kick.
Yeah, fantastic kick in fairness, and we mentioned Luke Price and his experience and what he's going to bring to the game this evening. It's kicks like that become very important towards the end. But I think, speaking to Pat a little earlier, it's kind of those kind of mistakes that are letting them down in terms of Neath currently as well. They're getting that close to the try line, but unfortunately not capitalising.
They'll take some comfort in the early attack they had, but out comes Floyd Ellis. Good carry, rugby league style, from his own 22. And Bridgend now can build. Great carry coming in there from Jordan Collier. Top try scorer and top tackler for the Ravens this season.
No, leave it, no.
Bridgend looking to play. Looking adventurous, Merriman. A bit of footwork. Price now says, let's get it down there. Charged down by Morgans. And now Ryan Griffiths, who's had plenty of ball in this first couple of minutes. Morgans feeds it to David Griggs. Beat 13 defenders this season as the number 8. And Neath straight back into it. Win the penalty just in front of the 10-metre line.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see whether he goes for this. Yes, he has. He's opted for the post just to slow things down. Perhaps, whenever you're in that red zone, as they say, you've got to try and come away with points. And as I mentioned, they'll be a bit frustrated they didn't get that earlier try.
Nathan, as a player, 7 played, 7 defeats for Neath. You know Patrick well. What would be the feeling in that Neath changing room coming to games?
I think it's a difficult one, isn't it? I think coming into the season they will have obviously expectations, realistic ones as well, and they'd be setting them. I think there'll be a level of frustration obviously that they've lost all 7 games, but as I think some of the players have said a little earlier, they have come up against some pretty impressive teams as well, so it's quite difficult to judge where they are on that journey just yet. So I think the spirit is pretty high considering they've lost those 7 games, and I think the way in which they've been training, as I've heard, is that there's a level of good spirit still there, and confidence they can still do the job.
Well, a fine kick from the outside half. Stephen Williams, former Aberafan man, and immediately Neath reply with their first soiree into the Bridgend half. Following Ed Howley's try, it's now Neath 3, Bridgend 7.
Make sure they're behind you, right?
I think the big difference obviously between stepping up is obviously it's unrelenting, isn't it? So you've got good teams week in, week out, whereas they didn't have that potentially last season, so that's probably a big learning curve for them.
Griffiths, I think it's his 4th touch, Nathan, since we started, the left winger. Nothing for David Howells as yet on the other wing. 2 times cap, Wales international, former Ospreys and Dragons, but all the play on this stand side at the moment. Neath tried to build out of their 22. Iestyn Merriman, prominent. Morgan's the experienced 9. Go to the air. There's heavy pressure coming in there, but he regathers, gets a great offload to second row Kai Arnold. And Morgans can try again. No real protection for the scrum half. You have to get some height on this one. Indeed he does. Floyd Ellis under it. Challenged by Griffiths, keeps it in. Big counter ruck coming in from Arnold, but it's with Bridgend. Alex George, I'm going to say, young man playing Ospreys under 18s, and Luke said tonight, Ben Thomas, another former Osprey. Some experience at Coventry Rugby as well. And another former Osprey, Luke Price, chisels it down. Griffiths, well placed. Decides to have a little counter attack and looked like a high tackle.
Seatbelt, high. Yeah.
He's full of running this evening, isn't he? To be fair, I think that's touch number 5, which is it's just phenomenal considering David hasn't touched the ball as yet on the other wing. But yeah, no, again, I mean, coming into this game and hearing obviously Pat and Ryan speak, they were going to look to play territory game. It looks as though it's on the other foot. She's on the other foot, isn't it? Bridgend are looking to put the ball behind Neath, and Neath are throwing everything at Bridgend, trying to play a little bit.
Well, when you've got the likes of David Howells, Aaron Bramwell, and by the looks of it, Ryan Griffiths in your midst, then it seems like a good tactic. And this is a chance on the 22-metre line of Bridgend. As we see our super graphic, Ryan Griffiths coming in the shot there. High tackle, or seatbelt as referee Elliot Mayer called it. We have our first line-out of the night. Chris Morris, former Scarlet Academy hooker. The throw in goes to the back. Yes, no lift on that back pod, and it's spilled by Neath. Price couldn't get it away. And that pod was free at the back there, Nathan. Just no lift.
Yeah, that's the kind of, I guess, the lack of cohesion that they're perhaps not getting at the minute, and it comes from a lack of obviously continuity in players, because they've had a few injuries, players not being present for training and so on. So that's going to obviously impact their ability to have a pretty fluid line consistently. But you can see here, it's just lack of or miscommunication, perhaps not knowing the call, not knowing where they need to be at the right time, which is quite frustrating.
Yeah, Kai Arnold is peeling around the back, no front lifter, therefore they couldn't get in the air. And then the knock on means it's a put in centre field on the Bridgend 22-metre line. Chris Williams, over 200 appearances at scrum half for Bridgend, and that's a good drive coming in from the visitors. And that's always a welcome relief for your pack. They do a good job in the scrum, Nathan, and then they get the reward to get downfield.
Yeah, definitely, and that's definitely an area that Bridgend will be targeting this evening, is the scrum. They know they've got a dominant scrum. They're without Phil Price, but they've still got that experience and weight perhaps in the scrum that can really cause problems this evening.
There's Tim Ryan there, the tight head. He's an assistant coach here at Neath and played Irish age grade rugby. had some professional experience with Newcastle, Toulon, Munster. Plenty of big names there. Here come Neath again. Owen Morgan wearing 7 for the home team tonight. Williams, we used to call that a rangy back in the day. Centre's coming on a switch.
Turnover's good. There you go. Re-turnover.
Neath still have it. Nearly a steal from Bridgend.
No 7.
At the tackle. Morgans goes back to Williams. Thought about the kick, but pressure coming on his kicking foot. He's just going a little backwards. Have to regain some momentum here. Here's Ryan. Big hit coming in from Gareth Harvey, experienced hooker. Jones, the tip on there. And here's Ryan Griffiths, showing plenty of wheels tonight, the left winger, up to the 22. Morgans, it's there for him. On the hook comes Jack Powell, the loose head. Crowd with a famous chant of Neath, 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 Stefan. Williams, the outside half. Just had somebody in his passing eye line, and there's an advantage here for Neath, I think. Owen Morgan on the Ponadawi RFC man, and indeed there was. You have to say this is a good recovery from Neath. Nathan have to go in an early try down.
Yeah, they're causing the Bridgend team some real problems, particularly when they try and play this expansive game. They're releasing Ryan Griffiths pretty much every single time they attempt to, and then they've got some great runners coming off 9, which is obviously causing the Bridgend defence some trouble, and they're giving away quite a few penalties at the minute, so that's a good sign for Neath.
Bit of wheels from Griffiths here, reminding me of a young Nathan Brew.
More like Aled Brew, to be fair, but yeah.
Well, David Howells, as I mentioned, 2 times capped Wales winger on the other wing. Probably wish he'd wore number 11 tonight, not 14. But Ryan Griffiths doing really well for the home team. Big carries from the forwards. Jack Powell, not going to lie down tonight. Neath.
It looks likely that there's pretty much quite a lot of opportunity then to go wide again. If you look, the defence is quite narrow, so that's probably an option that Neath will need to try to exploit, perhaps, particularly with Dav being as experienced as he is. He can perhaps call in to say there's a crossfield kick opportunity there because the defence is so narrow.
Stefan Williams successful with his second penalty, and that takes it up to a 1-point game. 7-6 to Bridgend. A good take by the second row, right in front of the stand. And Jack Powell's really got the bit between the teeth. Morgan speeds to number 8, David Griggs. Patrick Hogan will be happy with how his team has responded. Morgan's to the air. It's quite infield, and underneath it was Alfie Llewellyn, who spilled it.
6.
All of a sudden,
advantage, you're on the floor.
Everything's going Neath's way.
Yeah, that was a great kick in fairness. Had great height on it, and a good chase behind it as well, putting pressure on the Bridgend catcher there. But yeah, I mean, they seem to be in control, don't they? They seem to be in the ascendancy when it comes to the contact area in particular. They've got their pods. The pods of 3 that are working well together as well, cohesively. So yeah, they look as though they're in pole position. I think it's just that early try that's kind of let them down, isn't it?
It's Alfie Llewellyn, son of former Wales international Gareth Llewellyn. Brother Max, of course, now playing his trade at Gloucester Rugby. And young Alfie, his first season of Premiership Rugby, former Glantaf School and Glamorgan Wanderers. Playing all the back 5 positions. Big scrum coming in. As you were saying, Nathan, it looks pretty ominous, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah, and I think that this is an area of Neath's game that's perhaps holding the back line back slightly. The ability to have a good platform from the scrum, as well as line, but the scrum in particular, unfortunately. But perhaps it's just an early ball in from Chris to take a bit of pressure off the front row, perhaps.
Hope you're enjoying our in-vision replays, all our multitasking viewers.
Right. 8 in.
As the steam from the 16 forwards rises into the Neath sky. It's now become a pretty still, dry autumn night here at the Gnoll. And a big scrum coming in again, but this time referee goes Neath's way
And change your bind, 3.
The tight head, that's a call from the assistant. Tight head has changed his bind.
No, 3.
Come in on the angle. That's Liam Tobias.
Yeah, don't look at me now, Sean. Trying to explain. I can see you coming across. But yeah, I agree with the referee. I'll leave it at that.
Expert scrum analysis from Nathan Brew.
Yeah.
It's fair to say, Nate, you spent most of your playing days in the wider channels.
Yeah, fair to say.
Now, you know, let's discuss the difference in playing in the Championship to the Premiership. We mentioned, as we watch again, this illegal bind, slip of bind. He's on the arm there, Tobias, well spotted by the assistant. But it is a step up for these players, isn't it? They finished second in the Championship, but playing good sides week in, week out in the Indigo Prem.
Yeah, it is, and it just reinforces the importance of making sure that you've got a level of consistency in your selected squad, I guess, so that they be able to build a level of cohesiveness in what they do, because yeah, it's going to be a challenge for them. Every game's going to be a challenge. It's how they obviously develop and progress. That's the biggest part to it.
Once again,
well, goal kicking isn't an issue. Stephen Williams, with his third successful penalty, takes Neath into the lead, 9-7. And interestingly, they may have only scored 12 tries so far this season, Neath, but they've converted every single one of them. So goal kicking is pretty spot on. Luke Price, lovely kick. There was an interception.
Blocked him.
Just a little bit of blocking we can see here.
Prevented him. Clean take.
Yeah, that was Jacob Blackmore. Clear-cut penalty.
Yeah, silly penalty, isn't it? There's no need there. I mean, they've been taking these balls pretty well all evening, and they've gone into the lead, and I've given some easy points to Bridgend to come back and go into the front.
Yeah, you say, yeah, of course, yeah.
Luke Price. 67 points to his name this season now.
From my perspective, that's what we saw, okay?
And he's at a 73% goal kicking, but for penalties, he's up around 85%, as we see again in our in-vision replay. Blackmore just coming across and blocking. Yeah, pretty clear-cut penalty, that one.
You can't hide there, can you? Particularly when he's looking at the player when he's doing it. So.
They're not on TV every week, so he could probably get away with it, but not tonight. Luke Price then, measured routine, strikes it well, turns, leaves his tee behind, flags go up, and goal kicking is at a premium tonight. Let's go down to Lauren Jenkins on the sideline.
Give an extra yard, okay?
Gar fi ffind o'r mic, dyma ni. Fi ar y fain gyda Gareth Lloyd o dîm Castell Neath. Pa mor bles fydd y tîm bydd yr hyfforddwr gyda'r ymateb? Ar ôl mynd ar ei hôl i'n gynnar yn y gêm, chi'n newydd mynd ar y blaen?
Ni'n mynd ar y blaen nawr. Fi'n credu bydd e'n apus ar ymateb so far. Just gobeithio bod y boys yn gallu cadw fynd nawr, cadw yn ffrant o fe.
Be bydde buddigoliaeth yn golygu chi fel tîm? Buddigoliaeth gyntaf tymor hynna?
Bydde fe'n meddwl lot i'r boys. Bydde fe'n, fi'n credu bydde fe'n sbardino'r boys i roi cic o mlaen am rest o'r season wedyn ni, agos ni wedi bod yn anlwcus ambell i waith, ond just gobeithio tynnu'r boys at y gilydd wedyn ni fe.
Diolch yn fawr am damser. Pob lwc.
Just take a little bit across.
Gareth Wyn Lloyd there, former Whitland and Caredig prop. What do you have to say, Neath?
Happy with the performance so far, and the importance of we've placed a huge importance on trying to get this win today for the benefit of the remainder of the season, really.
Push, Seb.
Great steal in that line out from Alfie Llewellyn, just like his dad. Now Luke Price can try to get some territory. Good positioning again from Ryan Griffiths, the left winger, full of running. Has Bramwell with him, has a little look, takes it into contact.
Release!
Up to halfway, 15 metres in from the main stand. Morgans feeds Williams.
50-22.
Crossfield kick. Over there is Mike Powell. Experienced Bridgend winger. 141 appearances for the Ravens. And Williams is there waiting. White boots. Pumps it back downfield. It's Price there. He looks up. A little bit of kick tennis. That's well placed by the outside half. Over the head of his opposite number. And showing all his experience there, Luke Price.
Yeah, phenomenal. I think that was a 50-22 as well. And yeah, it was. Which is great. But yeah, that's exactly what he brings to Bridgend. I think that talk about game management. he brings that in abundance. And I think they've been heavily reliant on him this year. I think that a few of the areas that they perhaps have lacked this year is perhaps that killer instinct in the latter end of the game, the latter quarter. I think that him now starting to get into a rhythm will start to support their ability to get the wins, particularly in the final quarter.
Those of you not au fait with the 50-22 law, a kick inside your own half that bounces into touch in the opponent's 22, reaps your own line out. So Bridgend benefiting from that Luke Price kick. Now they have it from the maul. Out the back to Price. They have an advantage. Referee playing it. Here's the try scorer. Ed Howley bounces off one. He's got gas. Out the side door. Oh, was that a deliberate knock on?
Okay. Time off. Okay, so step away, please. Step away on the 5. Step away on the 22. So, what have you seen?
He's not in the tackle. He's stuck his hand out.
Yeah.
He's hit his hand. He's gone forward.
Yeah.
For me, it's deliberate.
Deliberate?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. He had 2 boys covering him.
2 boys, no penalty try.
No penalty.
The yellow card.
Yes.
Number 10.
Well, deliberate knock-on is
off you go.
the decision of the officials. Shakes his head, Stephen Williams, but sometimes you're damned if you do, damned if you don't in those positions, Nathan.
Yeah, you are. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, if he hadn't have put his hand there, would they have scored a try, and then you go in half-time, obviously behind. I mean, Ed Howley once again shown what level of threat he can be as well. Not only can he run, but he can obviously run through players as well, and he created that, and then that nifty little out the back pass as well to try and set his players free. You can see here, he's just stuck his hand out, hasn't he, just to try and prevent that ball from going wide. No attempt whatsoever to catch it.
And the question of the referee about did he have cover? Well, that's because if there wasn't cover, then potentially it could have been a penalty try, but there were 2 Neath players. Corner flagging. Now Bridgend take the line on Alfie Llewellyn, but it's not straight, says the referee. And that's a get out of jail free card for Neath.
Yeah, how important will that be with one player down? They really need to try and capitalise on those opportunities. So they'll be quite frustrated with that line out there.
Well, referee's actually saying players left the line out too early. Ball hadn't moved off the line of touch. And therefore, it's a free kick. And inside the 22, this time it's sent to Christian Jones, who can clear it away. It'll be a Bridgend put in. And here we have it, Nathan. Just the 3 binding players behind, deemed to have left the line out too early.
Back on
Technical
1, please. 3.
Free kick.
Set.
Gareth Harvey then, the throw in here. 118 appearances for Bridgend. Lovely off the top ball. Price. A little skip pass out into the wing. In from the wing comes Floyd Ellis. That's good defence from Neath. Pushed across, lovely. Harvey tries to get him and knocks it on. And Neath have it.
It's tackle release.
Well, they've got to play 9 minutes or so now. 8 minutes, in fact. Down to 14. No doubt this will be up the jumper stuff. Christian Jones, the centre, has stepped into the 10 position. Morgans to that man Jones. Goes to the air. It's a little long. Howley's underneath it. Good take from the fullback. It just dipped before him, but Ryan Griffiths is trying to wrestle the ball away from the fullback. Bridgend have it. Chris Williams, the scrum half to Price. Out to centre Tommy Morgan, who feeds it.
1 and no need. 1, no need.
1, no need. I think it's a bit of back chat there, Nick.
Yeah, again, discipline is crucial, isn't it?
Decisions, we talked about it.
There's no need. That ball was Neath's ball. Obviously, they could have cleared the lines there. It's totally unnecessary. Right? It's probably something that Pat's going to have to speak to them about. If they want to win these games, these types of games, these close games, then they're going to have their discipline.
Well, he's apologising, is Jack Powell, who's been a bit pumped up for this one. Some good carries, but when you're down to 14 players and then you get a penalty against you for back chat, then that's pretty demoralising.
Yeah, definitely, and particularly after that great work from David Howells. They've got an overlap in the backs, and it's always difficult to defend. And they had a good. Bridgend had a great move to try and get outside David Howells there, and he had a great last-ditch tackle. So they're defending, with their lives at the minute. The last thing you need is a lack of discipline.
Can Bridgend take advantage of the extra player? Harvey this time finds Ben Thomas, but that's not straight. 2 infringements on the bounce from lineouts, you have to say, in great attacking positions.
Yeah, they're gonna be very frustrated going in at half time. They've had a couple of good, decent positions. I think that's the second line out that's gone awry.
Well, coming up, Pontypridd against Carmarthen Quins next Thursday on the 23rd.
What are you seeing?
Join us at 7:15 up in Sardis Road.
Yeah.
Pontypridd against Carmarthen Quins. Both in the bottom half. A lot of Gwent sides are up in the top half of the Indigo Prem. And then coming up, we've got some URC clashes. Scarlets, good win last week. They play the Lions on Saturday. Dragons with a tough one against Leinster on Sunday. Ospreys, Glasgow, and then Ystalyfera, one of the newest Rugby POW teams, are playing Gower College. Join us for all of those. Plenty of rugby coming up in all competitions. And after the World Cup, you thought you'd have some respite, Nathan Brew, then you were wrong.
Yeah, some pretty decent games coming up, isn't there? I mean, Ystalyfera is my former school, so it's great to see them now with a pretty strong and upcoming academy that's actually run by Ryan Evans, the outside centre here. So it's great to see.
Yeah, Ryan Evans, captain tonight, and head of rugby at Ystalyfera. Club captain here at the Gnoll. It's good to see them in the Welsh Schools Colleges League.
8, head in.
You can watch Rugby POW Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Crouch.
Ystalyfera taking on Gower College. Coming up next on S4C. Okay, back to the Gnoll.
It's coming across,
Neath still a man short. 5 minutes left on that yellow card. Good pickup from number 8, David Griggs. Morgans gets decent ball. Goes back to makeshift fly half. Christian Jones puts it high into the sky. Howley picks his head up. Grubber kick this time. Jones does well to find his position in the backfield. Luke Price is back there. This is precious seconds and minutes off the yellow card clock for Neath. Morgan using all his experience to say we're not having any of that. What will we see from Howley? Oh, a lovely connection to that over the head of Griffiths. Just checks on the Gnoll turf. Chris Morgan says, let's put it back down there. Difficult one to gather for Floyd Ellis, but he does well into the Neath half. Then Thomas. Williams back to short side. Alfie Llewellyn beats one. Carry from the young flanker. Talking of young, there's Alex George. Ospreys under 18 still. Williams to Harvey. Out the back, chance here now. Morgan, the half break, the fend. It's got support inside from Llewellyn, who in turn has his scrum half, Chris Williams, who goes over. Well, a beautifully worked try by Bridgend. They probed into the Neath half and then came down the short side. Lovely interplay. Got Lauren down there.
Alfie, ar ôl colli am y gyfle, pa mor bwysig oedd hwnna?
Oedd hwnna'n game changer. Ni angen momentum yna. Ni'n gwneud gormod cymeriadau. Mae discipline ni ddim digon dda, ond mae hynna gallu newid y holl gêm.
Diolch yn fawr.
Well, some good Welsh there. Game changer, Neath.
Yeah. In fairness, it could potentially change the whole dynamic of the game. I think that was the first time that we've seen them craft, some pretty impressive patterns there. They knew what they were doing. They went one way and then they flashed blind with a pretty impressive. I won't use the term that we used to use, but behind the back ball to release the players on the outside, and then the centre there did great work, and then it's great kind of interplay between Alfie and the scrum half. As we see, just put all behind the back, goes flat to the line, takes us to the line, goes around the prop, I think it was, but then it's got the experience and the composure to pass it back inside, and then the same from Alfie's perspective as well, who releases Chris Williams to score pretty well crafted try.
Yeah, Bridgend replacement's happy with that. Good tactic to go down the short side when you're up against 14 players. Luke Price adding the conversion.
Slipped up. Same as theirs over there.
And as if to compound matters, it's Blackmore again, who gives away just a high tackle penalty. And whereas it was all going quite well for Neath, they took the lead. Bridgend starting to sort of gain control and pull away a little bit.
Yeah, it looks as though the level of ascendancy that Neath had at the start is kind of swaying. Momentum is swaying towards Bridgend, and obviously it's going to happen. They've got one player less, haven't they?
Llewellyn really coming into the game now. Lovely play, Tommy Morgan, the inside centre, signed from Tonopreed last season. Estin Merriman.
Release two.
Former Ospreys Academy open side. Price skipped it on, but well read in defence. The Gents still have it. Neath have a minute or so to hang on, and that'll be a welcome penalty turnover there. Great work. And they just have a minute to run the clock down now to get back to a full complement.
Yeah, great work slowing the ball down, and obviously winning that penalty back, and the work on the floor, particularly with one player down, is crucial to try and slow down any of the good work that Bridgend has been doing in terms of getting quick ball.
Price shipped it on. Infield came Mike Powell, but great turnover there, much needed for the home side. And any sort of score before half-time to take it back to within one score. Head coach Patrick Hogan would be delighted with. And what can Neath do here? Morris, the throw in goes towards the back. It's well won by Morgan Neath. One of three brothers here at the Gnoll. Just the one Neath playing for Neath tonight. And on comes the more. Referee letting it go, just crabbing a little sideways. He's at the back with Griggs. It's once now. Still going. This more from Neath. Into the 22 of Bridgend now. Maybe trying to eke a little penalty out, but they're still moving on. Referee allowing this to go. But it's Bridgend who come out with it. I think it was Estin Merriman. What was he doing there? Come out with the ball. Oh, Price had a huge overlap, but decided to pump it down the middle of the field. Well read by Ryan Griffiths. Has three Bridgend players in front of him. Up towards the centre spot on the halfway line. Morgans puts it back downfield.
Okay, by 14 on the floor. Okay?
Just
accidental offside 11 on the floor.
Just accidental offside, he says. And after all that, Nathan, back on comes Stefan Williams, and not a bad return, not great, but one try, and they've held on, Neath.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think that his efforts to try and stop them from scoring that try would have been one try, and in his absence, they've conceded one try, so it's not too bad. And in fairness, they've stayed within the game as well, so him come back onto the field hopefully help them control matters a bit more and give them that extra player on the pitch, of course.
Yeah, better.
Decent temporary job done by Christian Jones, the centre. Standing 10. Stefan Williams back on. Neath back up to 15 players.
Pressure coming on.
Just an early shove coming in from Neath. It's been a problem area, the scrum. Lots of free kicks and penalties.
Yeah, free kick.
It'll be a tap and go. Nice start up, but it's gone back. Merriman shapes the kick. Tackled by Blackmore.
Leave it.
Back down this short side, which reaped the second try for Williams, who will now resort to the box kick. On halfway, 5 minutes, 4 in fact, to half-time. That's close to the touchline. Great kick outside the 22. Griffiths probably has had the ball more than anybody in broken play in this first half.
He's out. 6 back foot.
2-score game, 17-9.
Fully back. Use. 8 back foot. 8.
Morgans. Ed Howley with the carry. Scored the first of Bridgend's 2 tries tonight. Lovely ball from Price into the hands of Powell over there. He's well caught by David Howells, but here comes Chris Williams. Oh, had a chance on the outside.
Release.
Bridgend still building. Is Collier. This big hit coming in there from Blackmore. Little pick and go by Harvey. So experienced, not hell, says the referee. So he gains a couple of extra meters, but he does crawl and roll on the second attempt. Away goes Morgans. Looking to speed this up. They have numbers on the outside. Chance here. Jones draws Griffiths. Now then, has he got the gas as Price came across? Puts the kick in. Howley outside his 22. This game is really broken up now. Stephen Williams. Is he going to enter into the spirit? Puts it into the air. That's going to be contestable. It's knocked back by Alfie Llewellyn. Price rocks back onto his right foot. Chris Morgans is there. He instigated that last passage with the tap penalty. Ed Howley and Luke Price just let that roll into the 22. And Howley says, let's get back down there, but doesn't find touch. Morgans again. Just loses it backwards. Bit of gaining ground going on. Price goes again. No room in the backfield for either team here, so Williams goes down the centre. It's covered by Stewart. Floyd Ellis, who himself goes down centre field. That one goes behind Christian Jones. He's got a long kick to touch here. That's loose. Chance. Powell, left-footed. It's actually straight down the field. Difficult one for Morgans to gather here. Puts the spiral in. It's a good kick, but this ball has been in play for a number of kicks. Price rocks back to Harvey. And indeed, it was a forward pass after all those kicks. We end up with a scrum. To Neath. Both teams just opting for a kicking battle. Price decided to go back down the short side. Referee right in line with that one.
There's no shirt ring, you're pulling all the way up. Let's go.
So Neath then played 7, lost 7. Just have 2 points to their name. Bridgend currently in 8th before tonight. They were 8th last year in the Indigo Welsh Premiership. Looking to better that, of course. There's 2 wins in their 7 games.
Right, the both gap is gone then. Okay, let's go again.
Some big games coming up for both teams.
Yeah, let's go. Last play, let's go.
Neath, 2 difficult away fixtures up next. Pontypool away on the 18th of November, and then Newport away on the 2nd of December. For Bridgend, 4 home games on the bounce coming up. So a win tonight will put them in good position.
Set.
The RGC, Pontypool, Newport and Swansea between now towards the end of December. We come into half-time, the clock's in the red.
It's gone down. Say it again, out.
Referee has had his hands full with the scrums. Bynes have been irregular. Bridgend have arguably had the upper hand. what will Neath decide to do here? As I say, clock in the red. Last chance to attack. Quite a long way out. Apologies for any choice language you may have heard on the referee mic.
Bind. Set.
That's right across from the loose head side. Alex George penalised. And there is an opportunity left in the half for Neath.
That's time, by the
Too
way.
far out for Stephen Williams for a shot at goal, so down the touchline. The outside half will go. How far can he get this? Doesn't quite get hold of it. Assistant referee comes back midway between Bridgend's 10-metre line and their own 22. As we see the scrum again, just crabbing right across.
Yeah. 10.
Alex George on the loose head for Bridgend, maybe only Osprey's under 18 still in Bridgend College, but making his mark, that's for sure, in the senior game. Lovely ball.
Same. Coming out. Here.
But leaving the line out early, much like Bridgend a little earlier. Technical penalty from referee Elliot Mayer.
No.
I'm pretty sure Luke Price will tap this and kick it into the far stand. Indeed he does. Happy with their lot in the first half. Referee blows up.
At the elected Gnoll.
And it's Bridgend that go into half-time in the lead. 2 tries. Ed Howley and Chris Williams with those.
Yeah, Ed, very competitive start from both teams with the momentum and the senders he's swinging both ways throughout the game.
I think we focused on kick and battle. I think he showed at the end and we lost that one a little bit, but I think if we keep hitting them behind him, we focused on their back three, not being able to kick a ball and run everything back. So second half we'll concentrate on that probably.
We've become very accustomed to seeing and witnessing some pretty spectacular tries from yourself. To talk us through that when you scored earlier.
Oh, football when I was younger, that was, I think. But no, I think Miami was going to go at the end, but I was all right, so I'll get a verb on it now and hopefully be all right second half.
Okay, so good luck, all the best.
Dyna fe, dyn y foment fawr. Dechreuad digon o ddawol gan Castell Neath. Nhw oedd yn pwyso yn eiliadau cynnar y gêm, ond pen y bont o fewn munudau yn troi sif y gêm. Cefnwr y capten yn gwrth ymosod ac yn manteisio ar y cyfle. A nhw ar y blaen o 7 i ddim yn gynnar iawn. 17-9 yw'r sgôr ar y regol. Pen y bont yn sicr wedi dod nôl mewn i'r gêm a Llywelch Myrddin yn ymuno fi. A nhw sy'n mynd reolaeth ar hyn o bryd.
Yn dweud, maen nhw wedi bod eich dda, maen nhw wedi sgorio 2, nhw'n gweld cais bach lwcus fan'na, ond yr ail gais yn sgorio wych yn ymol, safon uchel iawn fan'na, ond maen nhw i weld yn gyda gorau chafiaeth yn y gêm yma. Mae Castell Neath wedi cael digon o'r bel, ond ella ddim yn dangos yn ar y sgorfwrdd.
Mae Neath yn byw wedi ymuno ni, a Neath yn dath Castell Neath nôl chwarae teg, ond nhw wedi ymateb, achos nhw oedd yn pwyso, wedyn nhw wedi ildio, gallen nhw wedi mynd ar y blaen yn gynnar iawn yn y gêm. Welson ni ryw fath o mateb, ydyn nhw dal yn y gydlyedd?
Ie, yn sicr maen nhw wedi bod yn cysylltu ond ofnadw, ydyn nhw'n dechrau nhw band, falle nhw oedd gyda'r garochafiaeth, yn wneud yn y chwarae agored oedd yn mynd ymlaen, a'r ffodus iddyn nhw. Wnaethon nhw gollwng y bel, just cyn y lein, a wedyn gath Ed Howley y bel, a nath Ed Howley wneud beth mae Ed Howley'n gallu gwneud.
Fi bach bod ti wedi codi yna, achos ni'n weld be mae'n neud. Nawr, o un pen i'r llall, Llywelch Myrddin.
Ni'n gweld, Castell Neath wedi bod yn cadw'r bel da, ni'n gweld lot o bwysau da i ddechrau. Ryan Griffiths yn rhywiog iawn yn y hanner cyntaf. Ond just ar ôl y chwarae da, mae gen Castell Neath gwrdd yn adeiladu, wedi cael dechrau da, yn union bel nhw wedi sôn amdan yn y 15 munud cyntaf. A'n just on ymwneud ar llawr, Tim Ryan yn cicio un o'n hyn. Fel illa ddigwyddodd na droi. Dwi'n falle troi Castell Neath oedd wedi cael o'n allan o'i ddwylo fo. Just gweld Ed yn yn gleidio dros, mae'n edrych yn deceptive i Quicks, ac gorffen y dda, ac yn offi'r sgil defnyddio'r tu allan i droed fe ac a mynedd da i dirio drosodd hwnna.
A gallai hwnna yna wedi bod, fel ni newydd sôn, yn ergyd i Gastell Neath, ond wnaethon nhw, os adeiladu nôl yn i'r gêm, a Steph Williams wedi bod yn allweddol i hwn, jyst yn cicio'n gywir.
Ie, yn sicr, maen nhw wedi rhoi digon o pwysau, nhw'n wedig yn adar o gwrthdar, ond nhw i fi, sydd wedi cael ei gorechafiaeth yn yr ardal ni, mynd trwy'r cymalau yn eitha hawdd. Mae digonedd o redwyr gyda nhw hefyd, o ddi'r cymal yma, a wedyn maen nhw'n rhoi pwysau enfawr yno ar ardal gwrthdar pen y bont, a mae'n diffyg disgyblaeth gyda nhw yn dod trwyddo wedyn. Maen nhw gyda'r allu wedyn i cael rhywun fel Stephen Williams i cico'r bil dros y pist yn dyfa. Felly, so os maen nhw'n gallu cadw mlaen yr un ffordd, rhoi digon o pwysau, hyd yn oed yn y sgrym fan hyn, maen nhw'n gweld tro ni'n gyda nhw'r kick-off fan hyn, so mae'n gweld pam, achos so'n arbenigo yn sgrym, ond mae'n edrych fel bod y sgrym nhw hyd yn oed yn digon da hynno.
Ie, Patrick Hogan yn sôn am y gwendid yn y sgrym cyn y gêm, ond gewn ni cyfolwg ar y cerdyn melyn. Faint o ergyd oedd hwnna yn y pen draw?
Oedd, ie, i gael un ochr rhywyr allweddol Castell Neath allan yn fan hyn, ac wneud osgiliad da gyn Ed Howley fan hyn. Eto, mae'n jyst yn bwnsio dros am, wastad yn bron yn ddiymdrech yn torri drwad, a wedyn mae gen i just y law na. I ddechrau, ni mo bach yn anlwcus, ond mae'n law eitha diog gyn Steph Williams yn fan hyn. Ddim yn mynd amdan y bel, ac just bach yn ddiog yma na, ac mae wastad yn gic yn y dannedd cael un o'r chwaraewyr allweddol o ddi ar y cae.
Ar un adeg, o'n i'n meddwl pen y bont yn cael lein ar ôl lein, ond o ddim yn manteisio ar y cyfle, ond yn y diwedd, Chris Williams yn sgorio, a gwaith da rhwng y mewnwr a'r canolwr i greu y gwaith.
Doedd nhw waith caled ohoni, achos nhw wedi cael cwpl o gyfleoedd cynt, ond doedd nhw bwnsio nôl lawr yr asgell dywyll, mae cwpl o weithiau, jyst chwarae da, jyst sgiliau arbennig o dda, y popeth oddi ar y crys, y dwyd o slick na, ac eidfedrwydd da gyn off y gwely yn rhoi Chris Williams i ffwrdd. Ond just os na edrych ar y manylder yn hyn, mae pob un pas oddi ar y crys, y dwy law, pewn dwy law, no'r dwy law, a just yr amseru perffaith yma ag mewnwr Chris Williams yn gyffin i ffwrdd.
Reit, mae llwyth o chwaraeon i ddod ar S4C dros yr wythnos nesaf. Ar ôl y gêm a, wrth gwrs mae'n 20 munud i fynd yn y gystadleuaeth, a mae sgorio nos fori gweddau llediad byw o Gwpan Cymru, a wedyn dros y penwythnos, wel, mae pencampwriaeth Rugby Unedig, Sgawles fi Lions di Sadwrn, a 2 gêm i chi di Sul, Dreigiau fi Leinster yn fyw, a wedyn Gweilch yn erbyn Glasgow, ail ddarllediad di Sul, a 5 munud ar hugen wedi 4. Ar yn falch iawn, o mae Kieran Williams, cynodol y Gweilch yn ymuno fi nawr. Kieran, thank you very much. You're the guest speaker tonight, am I right in saying? So busy man?
Yeah, it was a busy afternoon, a busy evening. So
enjoying yourself? Good.
Yeah. I obviously always enjoy coming back to Neath, and a lot of nice faces I like to see. So it was good. Yeah.
We've got to talk about Friday night. What a win for the Ospreys. I was up there, 7,000, and your defensive shift to keep the Sharks scoreless from the 3rd minute on. How big a win did that feel in the dressing room post-match?
It was a bit of a shock when they scored early on. I thought it was going to be a bit of a long night. But to be fair, especially the forwards that they fronted up, and the physicality we showed was exceptional. And obviously, especially against South Africans, they are a big physical unit. And I thought we knuckled down and did very well, and thankfully come away with a victory.
And you've got Glasgow at home on Saturday, 2 bonus point tries. What's been the difference this season? How much difference someone like Mark Jones made?
Well, I think the last couple of years we've probably haven't that defensive structure, obviously having a defensive coach. So he's come in and he's given us something to play off. It's simple yet effective.
Kieran, obviously you've got, similar to myself, connections to Neath. How fantastic is it to see them performing again at this level?
Oh, 100%. It was obviously a real shame to see them go down, and obviously what happened before. But yeah, like I said, it's great to see them back where they belong, and it's great for me to come down and watch them be back where they belong.
Talked about Neath, talked about the Ospreys. We've got to talk about Wales and what that experience gave you, because the depth in midfield at the moment is quite something. When you look at those players that didn't make the World Cup, Max Llewellyn, Joe Roberts, yourself, but how much have you gained from having, what was it, a couple of months in the end with Wales?
Oh yeah, a tremendous amount. Obviously, with a physical standpoint, it made me a lot better that way. It just showed me what I need to do going forward, and hopefully I can work my way back in that way, and hopefully, well, we'll see what the future holds.
Does it make you hungrier knowing, look, you can train, you can perform to that intensity?
Oh, of course, it's obviously a tough level, but something I thoroughly enjoyed. And obviously, I've learned a lot from the last couple of months, and hopefully I can take that and make myself a better player, and hopefully I can be back there in the future.
And you sat down with Scott Gibbs a couple of weeks ago. What was that?
I did.
Sometimes I get tired. You compare to him constantly. Do you get tired of it?
In a way, no, I don't know. The trouble is, I always find what I achieve in the game, what he's achieved is totally different. So I was as flat as it is. And obviously, yeah, like you said, a lot of people draw that comparison, but no, it's flattering on my behalf, and it was a bit of a surreal moment meeting him, and obviously it was a great time for me.
You've got plenty to do, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much. Diolch yn fawr am ymuno ni. Enjoy the second half. Right, a nid dim ond rygbi sydd i ddod ar S4C dros yr wythnos nesaf. Mae sgorio i chi Cwpan Cymru fory Llanelli yn erbyn Pen y Bont, a wedyn rygbi pawb bydd Helydd Anna nôl wythnos nesaf. Ysgol Ysylafera yn erbyn Coleg Gwyr Abertawe am y tîm. Dan un ar Hugain Cymru yn herio gwlad yr Ian o Siau am y Cymru. Wel, mae hymgyrch nhw yn parhau yn erbyn Armenia, a hwnna am hanner awr wedi yn y trydydd ar 15 o Dachwedd. A ni'n parhau yn dod ar rygbi chi bob nos Iau. Ni fod gweld yr Indigo Prem, ond mae'r bencampwriaeth rygbi unedig yn dychwelyd y penwythnos. Mi fyddwn ni nôl ym mhen pythefnos Pontypridd cyfredin y gêm na. Mae wythnos o seibiant i chi wythnos nesaf. Right, 10 munud, beth sy'n angen? Os angen i gastell neb, sgorio nesaf, i dyna'r peth?
Oes, cant o weld cryfder gyn Pen y Bont ar y fainc. Alla di castell neb ddim mor gry ar y fainc, mae rhaid iddyn nhw sgorio gyntaf. Da ni'n sôn sgorio, ond maen nhw eisiau ceisio fan hyn i ganol nhw fewn. So troi y pwys yna fewn i pwyntiau ceisio. Mae'r
ddau tîm yma, maen nhw eisiau bod yn y EDC blwyddyn nesaf. Os nag ych chi'n gyfarwydd ar term, yr Elite Domestic Competition yw'r term yn Saesneg. Ni dal yn aros am gyfieithiad swyddogol, ond cyngrau newydd, a bwriad y cyngrau yw i gael bwlch rhwng y gêm proffesiynol a'r gêm gymunedol. Nawr, mae'n cael ei reoli gan yr undeb y rhanbarthau. Y bwriad yw fydd 8 i 10 tîm, a bwriad, neu be oedd yr undeb eisiau gweld, oedd bod tîm ar uwch gyngor i gyd yn rhoi cais mewn. Wythnos yma, ni wedi clywed Dyw Caerdydd, Pontypridd na Merthyr ddim am fod yn rhan o'r gystadleuaeth. Dyn ni'n meddwl am resymau ariannol. Be wneud di o hyn i gyd, Llywarth?
Ie, mae angen rhywbeth i gau y bwlch. I fod rhywun sy'n fod yn chwarae ar y safon yma a gweld y to nesaf yn dod drwad. Yn sicr mae angen rhywbeth i gau y bwlch na. Ti'n teimlo allan, dwi'n teimlo bod 14 tîm yn ormod yn y uwch gyngor ar y fan hyn, ac os ni wedi dorri lawr i 8, gei di fwy o safon, ac dwi'n deall ar ran yr ochr y 3 clwb sydd allan yn gwrthwynebu ar hyn o bryd, just o ran y nifer o gemau cartra ti'n gael, ond mae angen rhywbeth i sgodi'r safon i'r to iau sy'n dod drwad.
A gobeithio gweld y rhanbarthau'n cael reolaeth, a mewn ffordd fydden nhw yn ymddwyn fel feeder clubs, yn fydden nhw?
Ie, y ffordd dwi'n gweld i, fysa chdi'n gallu cael y clybio yma allan ymarfer 3 gwaith yr wythnos gyda staff yr rhanbartha. A wedyn mae hwnna'n mynd i godi popeth fyny, achos, ie, mae'n bwlch i gau.
Ni nawr yn mynd i ffeindio Neath sy'n cael cwmni un o'r chwaraewyr.
Diolch, Lon. Ie, cwestiwn gloi de. Beth nath Patrick weid hanner amser? Sorry, what did Patrick say half-time?
We just had more want. Too many of us are walking in our first half in the kick battles. We just have a bit more want and go after this. The game's there for the take and go after it, really.
Good luck. Come on, Jeff.
Welcome back to English commentary with myself, Sean Holley, and Nathan Brew, who's making his way back up to the country here at the Gnoll. Luke Price gets us underway in the second half. Bridgend leading by 17 points to 9. And Neath have it all to do if they're to get their first win of the season. In fact, Neath are on a losing streak of 26 games of Premiership rugby. Have to go back to 2017, the last time they beat Bridgend. But they have 40 minutes now in which to do so. Plenty of signs in the first half. Took the lead 9-7. And a yellow card to Stephen Williams outside half. Was capitalised upon with A fine try from scrum half Chris Williams. And Gareth Harvey throws in for the first line out. Alfie Llewellyn been impressive in the first half. Tommy Morgan, strong running inside centre. Merriman, all action in the first half. Good tackle coming in from centre. Christian Jones. Just gone forward from Bridgend, so good first defensive set from the home team. And let's hope, Nathan Brew, that the scrums are a little bit more fluid in this second half than they were in the first.
I knew you'd come to me as I was walking up those steps then. You could see me out of breath. Yeah, definitely. I think that's got to be a focus, and I'm sure that was something that Patrick referred to in the change room at half-time. I think equally from Matthew Jones and Bradley Davis' perspective as well, I think that Bridgend have obviously got the ability, and I think they need to work to their strengths. I don't think they are at the minute. They have been pulled into that open game that Neath are enjoying playing, whereas potentially they should play to their strengths, which is a good set piece and obviously a great kicking game as well.
A few of the Neath replacements there. There's David Howells. Didn't see a lot of the ball in the first half. Made his debut at 17 for Neath. A few games coming up, of course. 23rd of November. Join us for Pontypridd against Carmarthen Quins. And then a week later on the 30th from the Talbot Athletic Ground, Aberavon against Ebbw Vale. 4 games you can enjoy in the Indigo Premiership with us in December, as well as those 2 at the end of November. Some crowd here at the Gnoll, underneath the gantry where Nathan and I are situated. Plenty of fans. Fond memories of games here, Nathan, both playing and coaching.
Yeah, it's the same. I think my first real professional outing was here for Newport, actually, against Neath back in the day, and yeah, it looks exactly the same, to be fair. Not much change, but
much more solid scrum at the start of this second half. Good forceful run from number 8, David Griggs. It's there for Morgans and Williams. That's deflected, all onside. We'll show the referee as Floyd Ellis comes off his wing. Howley is charged down, and the knock on as Floyd Ellis took his eye off the ball. Advantage to Neath. Now, what can they do with this? Probably went the wrong way there as Owain Morgan tries to hit the gain line.
15. Yeah, well spotted, yeah. Thanks, Alex. Advantage wasn't over, okay? 15. I don't want you coming inside, taking the player beyond the ball.
Well, Alan Bramwell was penalised, but advantage wasn't over, advantage, says referee Elliot Mayer. So Neath will retain possession.
Thanks,
yeah, in a good position, a good attacking position as well. You can see here just decent charge and good pressure from Neath, in fairness. And then I think, in fairness, I think it should have perhaps been an accidental offside as well, which means it should have been a penalty rather than a scrum.
Aaron Bramwell just clearing out. Nowhere near the ball, but advantage wasn't over. And if Neath could just hold the same sort of scrum as moments earlier, then they'll have a great attacking position. Split field, just about on the Bridgend 10-metre line. A 3-3 split in the back line. And again, Bridgend apply the pressure. Morgans does well to get it away to Jones. Bramwell now, haven't seen a lot of the experienced fullback. Stays on his feet. Drives well over the gain line. They go the same way. Little show from Blackmore. The second row. Advantage to Neath. Good start to the second half from the Welsh All Blacks. Collier. It's not Collier. It's Owain Morgan. And now the forwards come.
Still advantage.
Round the corner. Into the 22 of Bridgend. Morgan flashes back. It'll pass out the back to Williams. The short one. Big tackle coming in from Gareth Harvey. He's been physical tonight. Neath have to come the other way. Tim Ryan. As the rain now does start to come down in Neath. Little pick from captain Ryan Evans. Another advantage to Neath. Concerted pressure. Ryan again.
Yeah, still advantage. Yeah, it's a new advantage.
in the way, really, was Owain Morgan. Morgan's waits. It's a pick and go again. A team talk from half-time has come in from Mezzers, Hogan and Howells. And eventually there's no...
With the weather, the conditions changing.
It goes to Owain Morgan, the open side. Back down the short side went Jack Powell. And just in touch was Ryan Griffiths. But it will be, Nathan, in these conditions, about shortening up the passes, playing down short side, and kicking will be very evident.
Yeah, 100%. And being on the wing is probably the worst and the last place you'd like to be, isn't it? So, but yeah, you can look at David Howells there, and he doesn't look best pleased. He hasn't had much of the ball this evening as it stands, and likely that's going to continue.
Yeah, you want to have single figures on your back in these conditions. Harvey finds his man. They've got pretty good drive on here for Jen. Just 5 points in it now. They'll want the comfort of that 2-score cushion. On they go into the Neath 22. You just see the ball. It's not towards the back yet. And did it hit the deck there? Indeed it does. Well, it shows how greasy it is. They couldn't transfer that back to the back of the maul. Neath get a bit of respite.
Yeah, but playing to their strength as well within that pack situation. Obviously, lack of clinicalness in terms of getting that ball to the back. But yeah, they've at least long last kind of realised that they need to start playing to their strengths. And perhaps, as I mentioned, that the conditions will perhaps give them the necessary kind of kick they need into that kind of action.
Change at hooker. Chris Morris departs, and on comes Sean Crocker. Over 100 appearances for Neath. Former Pencoed and Tata man. Been through thick and thin with Neath as the experienced hooker.
Crouch. Right.
First replacement of the night. And we're back to slightly messy scrums here.
Make sure you have our shoulders visible, all 6, please. Let's go.
The replacement from Neath, replacing Chris Morris, Sean Crocker.
Crouch.
And after about a minute and a half, we're ready to go again. And what does the referee do? Blows up anyway. Penalty to Neath this time.
Re-engage.
Relief for the Neath 8. Stephen Williams looking to get up towards the halfway line. Does a pretty good job.
It's a great result for Neath, isn't it? I think they were under some serious pressure there from Bridgend. There's an opportunity now for them to get out of their half and start playing down in Bridgend's half.
And there's a flurry of replacements made by Bradley Davis and Matthew Jones. Bear with me. Zach O'Driscoll, the club captain, is on wearing 21. 27, Harry Olding, in his third season at Bridgend. He'll be on, remember, wearing 27. Evan Liardley is also on wearing 16.
6, no. Yeah, it's fine now.
And there's also a replacement at tight head for Bridgend. Little chisel through from Stephen Williams. All players squint. Oh, charge down. Now then, David Howells. His first real opportunity. He's up into the 5-metre line in the 5-metre channel. Neath players arrive. Bridgend players arrive. Is this the moment Neath have been waiting for? Blackmore. Just a metre short. The cries from the Neath supporters come in. The short ball to Christian Jones. And there's the score that the Neath faithful have been waiting for. It came from a charge down. We're going to go down to a very wet Lauren Jenkins.
You needed the first point. You didn't just get the first point, you got the first try as well. How important was that when you look at the context of this game?
Well, with the weather coming in, hopefully we can play further down there, and, well, we just keep on top of them now. That's one thing we haven't done all season, so carry on with that, really.
And get the conversion too. Good luck.
Well, Nathan, poor old Lauren. But yeah, we talked about him. David Howells, cold hands, but he showed a clean pair of heels there.
He did, yeah, and again that just goes to show the hunger that's within this Neath squad to get there, put the pressure on, get that charge down, pick the ball up, and then as you saw, whilst he's a little bit older than he used to be, he's still got the pace and still got the strength as well. But not just that, it was the level of support. As you can see, the charge down here, I apologize, Christian Jones had the charge down, but then you got that running towards the corner there. But it's the support. You've got Christian Jones first there after that charge down. That's that hunger I referred to. And then again, he gets up off his feet, and goes for a second bite to that and gets a well-deserved try. So he had about 3 instances there within the space of 20 seconds, which is phenomenal.
That's a great finish, isn't it? To get in between two forwards and get over the line. I know it's close, but as you say, 2 real involvements after the charge down. Neath have deserved that. They have some real appetite in the second half. They've taken the lead. It's 19-17 and well claimed from a very greasy restart by Morgan Neath. Neath all of a sudden have their tails up. On comes replacement scrum half. Griff Williams wearing 21. Neath, as I say, with their tails up. That squirmed out the side of Powell's grasp, and Bridgend have it.
Leave it, no.
Evan Yardley waits for it, but leaves it for Williams. Tommy Morgan moves it on to Joe Gatt. Heard a lot from the experience outside centre. 131 appearances for Bridgend, first start of the season. Griffiths doesn't make touch. Luke Price infield to the danger man, Ed Howley. Neath know all about him. He's well marshalled by Jones and Williams over on that far touchline. Price waits, static, the counter ruck from Neath. Fizzes it into replacement tight head, Matholwch, Yorwerth, Scott. Alfie Llewellyn, son of Gareth, had a good game. Back the other way. This time it's Zach O'Driscoll. Replacement's just come on. Bridgend showing nice hands. Collier out on that wide touchline. Price, little dink inside. Bridgend now. Best moments of the second half from the visitors. The carry from Harry Olding wearing number 27. Price in position, rocks and brings Collier on his inside shoulder, deep into Neath 22 area. Price plays scrum half. A short ball this time. It's game on here at the Gnoll. Price still at scrum half. The Neath galvanised up for it, get a vital turnover, and the crowd show their appreciation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Bridgend there, perhaps, you know, their own worst enemies, just plummeting over the ball, perhaps instead of standing and staying on his feet. Lack of discipline, particularly when they looked in the ascendancy there. They had a great level of composure, options either side as well, so they'd be very frustrated with that. But again, yeah, the defence and appetite that Neath are displaying at the minute, in fairness to them, shows that spirit that I referred to in the first half that they've definitely still got within this playing squad.
Stefan Williams opts for a little bit of safety. Pretty dreadful conditions for all players, but this game is there for the taking for both teams here. Neath yet to record a win in 7 games, but Jen losing 4 in a row. Beat Kamal and Quinns did Bridgend away 22-11 back on the 16th September, and that shows how difficult it is. Jack Pope, the second row, wins that for Bridgend. Ben Thomas, fellow lock, and that's a penalty. Jack Powell couldn't roll away, and here's Pope again now. Playing advantage here. Alfie Llewellyn steps inside. Price, little short pass to O'Driscoll. And a drop goal attempt from Luke Price. Didn't quite get it.
No advantage.
He knew he had the advantage anyway. Penalty against Jack Powell for not rolling away.
Yeah, I mean this level of discipline is crucial, particularly when they're in their own 22. Unfortunately, they've succumbed to the pressure that Bridgend were placing on them. And Luke Price, knowing that he had the advantage, decided to go for the drop goal.
Well, you expect him to go for goal, and indeed Luke Price does just that. Takes a sip of water, puts his tea down. Successful kick here would give Bridgend a slender 1-point lead, and it's been a good game. Maybe not the highest quality at times, but certainly the tries have been. 1 to Neath, 2 to Bridgend. Can Price slot this one to regain the lead? Strikes it well, really composed, lovely kick. Bridgend go back into the lead. It's now Neath 19, Bridgend 20.
Yeah, and I guess just touching upon your point there, it's not been perhaps a humdinger of a game, and I think that perhaps the lack of confidence and conditions haven't helped there, but I think that there has been a level of intent, isn't there?
Let's go back down to Lauren Jenkins.
Bradley, they've started both halves well, have Neath, but do you feel that having just gone back ahead, this is your moment to change momentum in this match?
I hope so, but look, we started very poorly. The game plan went out the window pretty quickly. Like once we play a bit of territory and get in the half, we're pretty decent, to be fair, but we do one good thing and about 4 bad things at the moment, so we just need to get our act together, play some smart rugby in the conditions and just play down there, I think.
How big an impact, how much of an impact could your bench make in this compared to theirs?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. That's probably the purpose behind it. We give some boys some time off, but to come on at this stage now to hopefully push the standard and get some forward dominance, you know. Doesn't help a kick out on the full, mind, but...
Still playing, am I right in saying? You've done your boots?
Not very well, but yeah, a couple of games, yeah, when I can drag myself out off the sofa. But yeah,
same as over there.
Bradley, thank you very much for your time.
Mark's here.
Didn't sound overly keen there, Bradley Davis, did he, Nick?
No, not at all. I think you've got 2 players. You've got Matthew Jones that's considering coming out of retirement for a couple of games this year, and then you've got Bradley as well. And in fairness, they'll be 2 pretty influential figures to have on the field, won't they, regardless as to whether they'll be 100% or 50%.
Black was it. Black 1 and black 6.
A couple of replacements. We're 19 for Bridgend is Dylan Burrows, Tonna Revelman, replacing Ben Thomas. And Fletcher Barry, former Cardiff Academy, wearing 20.
All time. Stay square, straight. Good find.
It's also
too many offences against the team.
entrance for Gareth Wynne-Lloyd, we heard from earlier, replacing Jack Powell.
Time back on.
Well, the rain has just about stopped, or certainly it's a lot easier than it was moments ago. For a good finish here, Nathan. Still 22 minutes to go.
Crouch!
Yeah, definitely. It's got all the makings of a good final quarter, hasn't it?
I don't think we've seen many scrums complete. There's been free kicks or penalties. Straight away, Wynne-Lloyd is involved in his first scrum.
Yeah, full pen.
And it's a penalty to Bridgend. Luke Price. Decent kick from the outside half. Didn't quite make it into the 22, but
Your second row, push it,
Bridgend in the right part of town at the moment. 1 point in the front. Evan Yardley about to throw in. Son of Paul Yardley, former Bridgend and Aberavon flanker. Chuck to his friends. And a good clean lineup for the hooker.
Yeah, in the 5. 3 out,
and it is Yardley who has it, steers it towards the back. Now he's exposed, but driving his legs forward. Good carry by the hooker. Bridgend can build now in the 22.
Yeah, he's out.
Williams looks for it, digs, finds it. Here's Harry Olding. Replacement, loose heads on. Williams looks for the short side. They've had some success here.
Okay, no advantage.
Another
high
penalty.
tackle. Okay,
Another high tackle, and just when they get in front, much like the first half, Nathan Brew.
High tackle.
They just come under pressure, give some penalties away. They're not in the lead long enough, are they?
No, and I think that again comes with experience of playing at this level, isn't it? Knowing that you know, when you do some positive events within the game, you need to make sure that when the ball is in the opposition's hands, that you're obviously maintaining a level of discipline, but also not giving away any silly errors as they've been doing. So I guess that's the frustration that they'll find, but they'll learn, and as they go through the season, they'll start to see these drop away, hopefully.
Well, I've got to stop in play. It doesn't look good. It's like a head injury. I think that might be Fletcher Barry, the young back rower who's only just come on the field. You see the medic just pointing to his sort of cheek and nose area there. Looks a bit swollen. Hope he's okay. Meantime, Morgan Neath comes back onto the field.
Right, that's the middle. That's the middle.
We see what happens in our... He makes the tackle there, dips low. Not sure you can see anything there, Nathan.
Lifters don't obstruct the
This might be a better angle.
The elbow into the cheek, perhaps, as he was going in.
No TMOs at the Gnoll tonight. So on we go. Luke Price and his Bridgend team have opted to go for the corner. Pretty good more last time.
Close the gap a little bit, okay?
And this is a bold move. They've gone for post. They've snuck into the lead again by 1 point. What can they do here? Alfie Llewellyn soars into the sky. I think it was Pope, actually. Harvey's there. It's gone down. No infringement. Tommy Morgan steps up. Good defence from Neath. Knocks the centre backwards. Still there for Williams. Slow ball this time. Holding. Big carry from the replacement prop. It's there, Pope. It's actually Alfie Llewellyn. Getting those two mixed up, but doesn't matter. The result is the same. There's Joe Gatt. Williams rocks back. This time it's Matholwch Yorwerth Scott, and his carry has brought in the Jackalers for Neath, and much like moments earlier, they get over the ball and win a vital penalty at a crucial time.
Yeah, defensively, their shape is extremely organised, isn't it? They're composed, they're getting back on the back foot as well, coming up as a line. pretty much, forcing Bridgend to make the mistakes. They're sending up one-up runners then as well, out of panic potentially, because they know they're not making much progress, and then that's opening up an opportunity for Neath to steal that ball back. So fantastic appetite in defence. There's both aggressive but composed at the same time.
Well, you can see, as Nathan Bruce says, good shape, and that carry just allowed replacement Gareth Wyn-Lloyd to get over the ball. Not the most obvious of jackalers, but he was in the right place at the right time and a big man to move.
There's a good one.
18 minutes left in this Indigo Premiership battle. Neath in 13th, Bridgend in 18th, in 8th before this evening. And it's anyone's game still. One by Kai Arnold. Good line-out in these conditions.
That's what.
Maul's not going anywhere.
Use now, please, Knight.
Now it edges forward. Replacement Williams, scrum half. Difficult one. Well taken by Floyd Ellis. Gets the offload to Howley, who puts it over the head of the scrum half. But it's gone straight in. The second time we've seen on that far side, and that could give Neath a little bit of inspiration here.
Yeah, extremely unfortunate there. I think Howley did a good-looking banana kick, just perhaps put a little bit too much on that kick, which is going to prove potentially. We'll see it now. Does it go?
2 players dying in blood.
Ooh, it's quite close, isn't it?
On the line, can't see the line, but the assistant said on the line, which is out.
It's, yeah, you can see it here. So decent banana kick. He's shown his ability time and time again, hasn't he, during this match today. I think he's unlucky there. It looks as though, again, I haven't got supersonic eyes, but it looks as though that may well have bounced just before.
To be fair, the assistant is right down the line, but a few injuries out there. It's been a good contest.
Time's still off.
You can see there, showing Ryan Griffiths down with cramp because they might have run dead in the first half,
There's been a lot of kicks, isn't there? There's Patrick Hogan, and this is Neath's last 5 results. You can see quite a heavy defeat against Llandovery, who were right up there at the top. Ever Vale, a difficult side. Cardiff play attacking rugby. Maybe the Pontypridd game here was the one. In steps Ryan Griffiths. He's been really good tonight. Lots of energy from the winger, Williams. Little pop, and another one. Couldn't quite get it, Jones. Fast ball. And if that had stuck, then anything could have happened.
They've played some really good stuff, haven't they? Really enterprising rugby, and it's really good to see. Unfortunately, it hasn't stuck a number of times, but as we've said a number of times, they've got the intent. You saw just great running angles from Christian Jones there to come off shoulders. They're delaying their pass, or they're passing out just at the back of the tackle, which is great to see.
Well, if that had stuck, I think Christian Jones was straight under the sticks. He's had a good game. One more Trabanos man. 14 appearances for Llandovery.
Right.
And doesn't speak Welsh, as I just found out as I interviewed him in Welsh.
I saw that.
Set.
And the scrum's gone down.
It's gone down. No, it's gone down. We can't play away. Anything else? Both slip. Right, come over this way.
Must be time in World Rugby, Nathan, for a stop clock on scrums. It just eats into the ball in play time so much, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's part of the game that I've never fully appreciated, I'll be honest. But yeah, it does, and it slows the game down, and I think there's a lot of confusion surrounding some of the decisions that are given.
Bye.
I think we could really gain 4 or 5 minutes of proper rugby if you just stop the clock on resets. Nonetheless, that's a better scrum, Williams. To Price, it was passed back into the 22. This has to land in field. Ryan Griffiths takes it. Aaron Bramwell, a little bit long from the fullback. Price is there, and he'll send it right back. Opposite number, Stephen Williams takes it on the bounce, moves it up to the 10-metre line, a little dink over the space, but there is Mike Powell. Williams follows up with a tackle. Price deep. That means he's going to kick. Well read by David Howells. Some football skills. Oh, but he couldn't gather it at the second attempt.
100% knock-on.
You think he'd done the hard work, Nathan, and then took his eye off the second one.
Yeah, he was very relaxed in his approach there. He did great work, great ball control, a bit of football skills coming out there. But then, yeah, as you said, I think he was, just as he controlled it, he looked up, thinking, where am I going to put this ball? And then, unfortunately, in these conditions, it makes it far more difficult to try and pick a ball up when you're not looking.
Let's just not lose that gap, all right?
Yeah, he'd be very frustrated. He knows he's a lot better than that.
Had time to trap it second time, but I said to the referee, look, he went backwards, but the result is a really good attacking position for Bridgend, midway between the 22 and the 10-metre line. And centre field.
Closed there.
Right. Here we go again.
Closed early. Come on. Look. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
The next score, you feel,
last 10 boys, keep focused.
It's going to be very, very important for Jen.
Right.
Get a 7-pointer. It's a long way back with the clock as it is.
Fine. Set.
Williams into the scrum. Neath tried to get the shove on, but Collier gets it away. Reverse. And then Tommy Morgan, can he put the danger man? Flicked on by Holy. And it's gone loose. What looked to be a pretty creative play.
And then left, didn't he?
Ended.
Yeah.
And a Neath line out.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff Bradley Davis was talking about just a second ago. They're getting themselves in some really good positions, but lack of composure, just depth there coming onto the ball. They were all quite flat, as you could see. If they just held their depth a bit more, particularly 13 coming onto that ball, that tap pass back, I mean, just the change of direction was great play, because obviously they could see they had more numbers on the left-hand side there, but just the level of depth and communication as well, you know, to say, you know, time or, you know, pull it back towards me, just, you know, lets them down.
Well defended by David Howells as well. And good line-up from Neath this time. As here it comes again. The rain absolutely hammering down on this maul at the Gnoll. But Neath edge it forward. They keep the maul up.
Don't change that. Don't play.
Williams pumps it downfield. It's a difficult one for Howell. He doesn't take it first time. And he looks up with plenty of time. Splits the backfield really well. And replacement scrum half Williams puts the torpedo in towards us in our comedy position, and that's a good kick by the scrum half.
Yeah, great kick, but in the first instance from Ed Howie, putting it behind them, but then the scrum half Griff puts it back with interest, doesn't he? Which is great.
Well, as we keep saying, Nathan, it's anyone's game. Nobody's going out and really trying to win it here. And who can blame him in these conditions? Disrupted by Neath and just knocked on by Morgan Neath.
I'm happy with that. It's down the line. Started down the line, happy with it. Knock on.
So yet another scrum.
9 blue.
And it was inevitable, really, in these conditions. Nathan, we're going to have knock-ons and scrums. As on comes Connor Tantum. Replacement scrum half. The post-call RFC product. Ospreys Academy young scrum half.
9 to go. Yeah. Right.
And as if somebody turned the tap off, the rain has ceased a little. Scrum's going around. Referee penalises Neath.
Your first movement is to step round.
It'll be interesting to see some statistics on how many scrums we've completed and how many free kicks and penalties there have been. There's been a lot.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's been stop-start, isn't it? It doesn't help the flow of the game. However, I think that you just look at how Neath scrum has progressed and you can compare to other games as well. It's been pretty solid, I'd say, in certain aspects of the scrum this evening, so they'd be pleased with that, and I think that shows again. I keep referencing the word progress, but I think that's all they they perhaps can hold on to them and is getting a level of progress each game.
Bryce from the halfway line makes good contact. That's a good kick. Former Ospreys outside half into the Neath 22, and Bridgend just looking to turn the screw, and we're into the last 10 minutes of the game. 9 to go. On comes Sean Wilcox. Surprisingly, it's Christian Jones that is leaving the field. He's been good tonight. Disrupted by Neath again. Blackmore does well to get down on it. Did he gather it? Yes, says the referee. Thought about blowing his whistle. Williams goes back to Williams. Oh, good connection by the outside half. Wonderful torpedo kick from Stephen Williams.
There's nothing better than seeing a perfectly executed torpedo, is there? And that was definitely one, and he's got some good distance on that as well, just to relieve the pressure. And now put a bit of pressure equally on Bridgend to try and get this throw in the line out and back.
Spent many a game on this country coaching Gavin Henson. This pitch wasn't big enough for Henson and his torpedoes. Well, that was a superb effort from Stephen Williams.
Right, time back on.
Evan Yardley busily drying the ball with the towel. Important line out, you feel. This from Bridgend. Last couple have been disrupted by Neath. It's not straight. The pressure at the front toe. And if they can just hold their scrum now, Neath, they will have an opportunity to get some territory.
Yeah, it's a great position to be in here now, isn't it? As you said, get a strong, firm scrum, get that ball back, perhaps get 8 to pick and go. Start to set up a decent platform for the backs to try and take it to Bridgend.
Come on in, Brewy. 7.5 minutes left, 1 point game. Who's your money on?
Win this scrum, I think Neath could get it.
Heard it here first from Nathan Brew.
Crouch. Fight.
Rain has stopped. Right hand side, 15 metres in. Can Neath just hold one scrum? Under pressure, get it away. Stephen Williams. Lovely little reverse. And then in comes Aaron Bramwell. Tries to side through the midfield. It's still there for Williams. Onto it comes David Griggs, the number 8. They're building here, Neath, but they're giving the penalty away.
Beyond the ball.
Beyond the ball, clear out from Morgan Neath. Was that the chance to really build a platform to get the score?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how he actually went about that, because it looked as though that player was looking to try and get the ball, but wait to see if there's another replay. But if it wasn't legal, then it's another frustration once again, isn't it? They're in a good position there. They didn't need to give away a needless penalty.
Morgan Neath, the ex-Merthyr man.
Yeah, give Neath the line.
Let's have a little look here. He's come back on the field. He's beyond play, he says, and he has tackled a player way beyond the tackle.
Black 11. Yeah. Black 11. Time's off. Black
See
11.
it again. Morgan Neath has come back on the field after an injury to Fletcher Barry. Head injury. He stayed off the field.
Wait, time's off, time's off.
Yeah, there was no need. All he needed to do there was seal the ball, wasn't it? Get that ball back to the scrum half.
Well, Lewis Rees is on and replace Ryan Griffiths. And what a fine game Ryan Griffiths has had. He's had plenty of ball. Scruffy old line out, and Harry Olding at the tail ended up with it in his hands now then. Bridgend, mindful of the clock, no doubt. Coming up to 5 minutes to go.
No.
Connor Tantum, even in Neath's half, box kicks it, goes into the 22, and Bramwell just slips through his hands. And just when Neath didn't need a mistake.
Knock on. Right. There's been 2 offences now.
His hands on his hip. He knows how important that was. Lonely place at full-back.
It is, yeah, particularly in this weather, and when the ball goes up in the air. Typically, you tend to always say, particularly in this weather, just turn your body slightly so that if the ball does
drop, it goes back obviously, but when you're coming onto the ball sometimes it's quite difficult to try and turn last minute as well. So yeah, frustrating, particularly for someone of his experience and stature. He'd be disappointed with that.
Fine. Set.
And our Seren again, the player of the match is Bridgend's number 10, Luke Price, probably for his controlling kick in, his goal kick in. 5 minutes to go. Bridgend just about in control. Very messy. Neath desperate to get their hands on this ball. Tantum brings in his forward. Replacements have been good for Bridgend. Tantum again. Price, the player of the match. Tommy Morgan, nowhere to go. Neath makes up for his error moments ago, and that's overzealous from Neath. They played the ball on the floor, says referee Elliot Mayer, and that could be the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think discipline has definitely been something that's let Neath down this evening. They'll be very frustrated. This game has been quite close, and there's been an opportunity for them to take this game on occasion, so they'll be very disappointed that this is a game that they potentially have lost rather than mistakes that they've made. But yeah, opportunity here for Luke Price, and he's been pretty accurate this evening, hasn't he, in everything that he's done from a kicking perspective. So it looks pretty ominous that this is going to go over, and that's game, set and match.
Slightly further out than some of his kicks tonight, but this would take away Neath's option to kick a penalty. Price turns away, confident in his technique, and the player of the match, Luke Price, takes Bridgend 4 points clear with barely 2 minutes to go. Neath will now have to score a try if they're to win this game. Just knocked forward from Morgan. Neath from the restart. Advantage is over, says the referee. And Aaron Bramwell, for the second consecutive time, knocks the ball on.
Yes, it hit his face, but it hit his hand as well.
And he looks full on.
Knock on.
He says it hit him on the face. Bridgend in full control now. Less than 2 minutes to go. Luke Price, exactly the right man you want in the 10 shirt. This is the incident. Hits Bramwell, flush in the face. And referee has given that as a knock on.
Bind. Set.
And Bridgend will now take this opportunity to run the clock down.
Yeah, it's gone away. Right, step across. You can see two's clearly slipped and two's slipped.
Neath will pick up a losing bonus points. No consolation. They've thrown everything at this one tonight. Sometimes a little bit over enthusiastic at the breakdown where penalties have been given. Scrum hasn't been too good. It's been messy for both sides. And just look at the conditions in Neath. Both teams have given it their all. It's been keenly contested, but into the final minute.
Set.
Straight out the back, Tantum, and the huge pressure from Williams. It's picked up by winger Ellis Knott, who's gone through and put Bridgend into a good position as the forwards capitalise on that. Stuart Floyd Ellis run. Back to Price. It'll be a drop goal attempt. Strikes it pretty well.
Yep.
And indeed, over it goes. And what the finish from the player of the match, Luke Price.
The drop goal for Bridgend from outside half 10, Luke Price.
Well, pretty unsure whether that drop goal did go over. It was a good attempt from Luke Price, and he was the difference in the end. Brave attempt from Neath. And home at the Gnoll, Bridgend have secured their first win in 5 matches. Neath still yet to win in now 8 matches in the Indigo Premiership. 2 tries to 1. Bridgend just about deserved it on balance. A little bit more experience, a bit more clinical. And the final score is Neath 19, Bridgend 23.
Wel, a dyma sut mae pethau'n edrych yn y tabl ar ôl y gêm na. Yn amlwg, sim lot yn newid ar frig y tabl. Y Llan yn dyfru ar ben y pentwr a 3 clwb o Ardal Gwent yn cwblhau'r 4 ucha. Ond mae Castell Nedd dal ar waelod y tabl erbyn hyn wedi chwarae 8 a colli 8. Ond mae Pen y Bont yn ar y bach yn gwneud ei ffordd lan i'r 7th safle. Fel chi'n gweld, mae'n agos iawn yng nghanol y tabl. A dyma'r gemau sydd i ddod dros y penwythnos. Fel chi'n gweld, Rugby Gogledd Cymru cafodd eu gemau gohirio wthnos diwethaf maen nhw nawr yn croesawu Cwnt Caerfyrddin. Caerdydd yn erbyn Casnewydd fydd hynny'n ornes ddiddorol. Merthyr Aberafan a y Pencampwr presennol Llan yn Ddyfru yn croesawu Pont y Pŵl i Banc yr Eglwys. Reit, mae Neath yn Brew yn cael cwmni wrth ymyl y cae.
Diolch, Lauren. Luke Price a Ed Howley gyda fi. Gents, obviously extremely tight but entertaining game as well. How important was it to get that win from a morale perspective?
Oh, massive for us. We had a good start to the season, lost 4 on the bounce, and tonight was by far perfect. But something that we really lacked last week, and we've been lacking in the games, is a bit of the real tight games and everybody giving a little bit more. And towards the end of the game, the last sort of 15 minutes. Our line-out got taken away from us and different things like that, and everything went against us, and it was just really good to get over the line and show a bit of fight to get over the line, and credit to Neath, they came at us all game.
Yeah, you said get over the line there. How about that drop goal? Did it go over the bar?
I'm not sure.
I think it did. Yeah. It did.
Yeah, I think that was lucky. I tried one a little bit closer in during the game and shanked that one, so it was just a bit lucky.
Brilliant, yeah. And from your perspective, Ed, obviously, great tries in the first half as we come used to. But equally, I guess the way in which you guys as backs obviously controlled and managed the game was equally as important to win the game tonight.
Yeah, we spoke about that all week. Kicking game would be massive, especially in the conditions as well. I think the second half, all we had was kicks, charge downs, but we regrouped. I think we grinded out the win in the end, but like Price said, wasn't pretty by any means.
But it counts, right? But gents, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Diolch. Diolch.
Oedd wedyn fel Neath yn Brew i gadw ei yn byrel ar yr yslis. Mae fel arfer yn hoffi cadw ei gotiau smart yn smart. Ond dyma ni, dyma carinhad o'r sgwr. 26 i 19, felly oedd y gol adla. Mae'n un llwyddiannus efo. Ti'n meddwl oedd wedi mynd drosodd ar y pryd?
Dim ar y pryd na, jyst yn gweld yr chwarae nath i sleifio tu fewn yr yslis chwyth, y pys chwyth na. Ond Luke Price yn dweud capu perfformio da gyda fo fyna gyda'r gol atlam.
Un eisiau siarad am Luke Price, achos prif sgorwyr Pen y Bont yn amlwg, ond mae'n bimed yn y gyngrair o ran prif sgorwyr. A syniad lle mae Pen y Bont i bod yn y tabl, mae hwnna'n dweud rhywbeth. Bydde wedi bod yn dipyn anoddach hebddo fe heno.
Bysa, oedd o just yn ben clir tu ôl pac na, pethau ddim yn mynd o ffordd nhw yn y blaenwyr, ond oedd o'n just lliwio chwarae, ni wedi gweld o'n eistedd yn y boced, i ddwylo allan yn dweud nhw pa ffordd i fynd yn set nhw fyny, ac nath o ddangos i brofiad efo yna, ac dangos bach y clas gyda'r gol atlam yna.
Castell Nedd dal i fod yn edrych am ei buddugoliaeth gyntaf tymor hwn, ond bydd cefnogwyr yn ymwybodol yn gwybod bod nhw'n agos.
Oedden nhw'n agos yn yma, ac o'n i modd totha, just rheoli'r gem na chdi bach, mwy just bach fwy diriogaeth ella, so wedi cael bach fwy gyfleoedd. Oedden nhw'n ddim yn allan edrych fel torau nhw gymaint, felly fysa cadw'r tiriogaeth yna i gael y pwyntiau.
A ni nawr yn cael gwmni un o'r chwaraewyr. Siarad Cymraeg neu Saesneg? O, ti'n siarad Cymraeg, mae'n siarad i checio. Ond ni jyst yn gweud nawr, bydd y cefnogwyr yn ymwybodol bod chi'n agos iawn. Chi dal yn chwilio am eich buddugoliaeth gyntaf. Chi wedi bod mewn gemau, mae colli o bwynt yn erbyn Pont y Pris, sgorio 28 yn erbyn Caerdydd. O, dwi'n timlo fel bod ar y ffordd?
Sa'n gwybod, really. oedd heno yn gêm o'n i yn targedu gytre ar nos iau ar y Gnoll. Ond ie, mae moral yr ysbryd y tîm yn dda, ond yn anffodus ar hyn o bryd, ni jyst methu croesi llinell. Oedd y gêm na i ni heno, ond disgybleth, y llinell unwaith eto. Mae'r boys yn trial yn galed, ond mae fe'n anodd.
Fel i chi yn llwyddo i godi moral, chi di mynd o falle colli dim ond 3 gêm llynedd, a nawr ar y rhediad yma, lle chi'n gorfod codi ysbryd. Wyt ti yn arwain yn y ffordd yna?
Trio fy'n gore. Mae fe yn anodd, ond mae yna criw agos dyn ni o fechgyn fan hyn. Ond ie, fel ti'n gweud, blwyddyn diwetha, o'n i'n ennill bron pob gêm, a o'n i'n gwybod oedd yn mynd i bod yn heriol blwyddyn yma. Cam i lan o ran y safon, ond ie, fel fi'n gweud, ni'n troi lan pob wythnos, a deiff y buddugoliaeth, a ni'n teimlo'n flin dros y cyfnogwyr, ni'n troi lan pob wythnos, a mae'r clwb yma'n clwb prowd, sydd yn gyfarodd y fod ar y brig, really, so deiff y fuddugoliaeth, ond mae heno yn hollol siomedig.
Pwy chi'n teimlo dros cefnogwyr? Ond oedd hi'n gystadleuaeth, oedd hi'n gêm agos, a deithoch chi nôl mewn iddi yn yr ail hanner. Cybolwg ar y cais yma. Mae pan oedd Pen y Bont yn agor y bwlch, o'ch chi'n dod yn cael bwlch mewn gwirionedd. O'ch chi'n teimlo yr adeg yma, falle bod chi wedi gwneud digon i fynd â hi?
Na, i fod yn onest, pob tro ni'n cael y bel mewn zon coch nhw, ni'n teimlo fel bod ni yn mynd i croesi'r llinell. Ond y problem oedd dyn ni oedd o'n i'n mynd 2-3 cymal a colli'r bel neu roi kick-gosb i ffwrdd. Os byddwn ni wedi gallu cadw'r bel am hirach, yn cant y cant, tro pryd ni'n cadw'r bel, o'n i'n teimlo fel bod ni'n dros y gain line y pethau, ond ie, fi'n credu y modau ddim yn helpu chwaith, ond disgybleth a yr un stori fi'n gwybod.
Ie, ti'n sôn dan yr un stori fyna, gan i'n siarad efo Path cyn gêm, ac o'n dweud allan bod chi wedi bod yn gorffar yn hanner chi hunan ella jyst ddim yn dod allan ar y brig yn y gêm tiriogaeth na, ella y hanes eto hyn yma, lle o'n o'na gyfle iddo chi jyst rhoi pwysau ar Pen y Bont, fel ti'n sôn, yn yr ardal coch na, so chi wedi gallu gwasgu nhw am cicio cosb a Steph Williams yn mynd yn dda oddi ar y tŷ hyn yma, lla jyst cael eich trwyno chi ar y blaen felly.
Ie, pob sesiwn o marfer, ni yn ymarfer, cicio yn y zon llwyd na lle ni o fewn hanner ni. Ond y problem heno oedd o'n i'n mynd 2-3 cymal a ni'n rhoi kick-gosb i ffwrdd neu oedd camgymeriad. Mae boys yn trial, ond y problem sydd dyn ni ar hyn o bryd, os i ni moyn ennill, mae rhaid i ni bod yn hollol glan. Hynny yw, dim camgymeriadau, dim cicio gosb, a na beth sy'n cosbi'n ar hyn o bryd. Ond we go again, efe.
Brian, diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr. Oedd wrth y ti, a ni'n mynd ddod â Matthew Jones y ffordd o'r Pen y Bont mewn. Matthew, thank you for joining us. Oh, you brought your own mic. How did that happen? There we are.
He's come prepared.
We've got 5 for 4. Matthew, your third win in the league, your first in 5 games. How big does that feel?
Yeah, it's really nice to get a win. A frustrating night. Made a lot of errors, both teams, a lot of errors. Conditions didn't help, but the message was play in their half. Game management was important, playing in their half, and then when we're in their half, going multi-phase, getting two-sided attack, and we didn't really get to that. We come in half-time, spoke about field position again, keeping disciplined, and the first thing we done second half was give 2 penalties away and give them field position. So yeah, a frustrating night, but really pleasing that we controlled the game at the end, sorted it out really nice, and ended up getting a penalty and managing that drop kick at the end to get those 3 points and the much needed win.
Matthew mentioned there, obviously, the importance of game management. Did you feel perhaps in the first half that you were kind of drawn into that open, kind of expansive game of rugby that Neath potentially wanted to play tonight?
Yes, look, Neath were very threatening around the rucks. Their pick and goes, their taxi shapes was excellent. We didn't deal with that very well, and they continued down the second half. I understand, I think the thought process, the intentions was right, but when we were exited, maybe we had 1 or 2 good carries. We got a bit of momentum, which put a bit of, do we carry, do we kick you? And there was a bit of indecision. So the message was, unless there's a clean line break in our own half, let's put the ball in their half. And look, we tried to do it better second half, and we did do it better, but there's a lot of areas of that game there that didn't function as well. Set piece was a bit messy at scrum and line out, and then when we did release the backs, it was slippery, and a couple of individual errors cost us.
Yeah, and is it fair to say that you're going to be putting a pair of shorts on next week?
No, absolutely not.
Thank goodness for that.
No, hopefully not anyway.
Not when Luke Price is playing like that anyway. With Luke Price, just touching on Luke Price, how good was he tonight, and just showing his experience there and potentially getting you over the line there?
of course, you know, his game management for us is game management's excellent for us, and you know, he's an ex-pro coming here, and I spoke about the last 5 minutes, getting that penalty and just managing the game to get that drop goal and just put us out the touch there. So yeah, it is nice having, but we've got good competition here as well. We've got Paul Shaw coming back from injury at 10 now, which puts a bit of pressure on Luke. So yeah, nice to have him out there, particularly in these conditions and in tight games where we've got that experienced head.
Matthew, thank you very much for joining us. I don't believe you when you say we're not going to see you out on the pitch. You've not officially retired, so watch this space, I say.
I think I have. Well, I just haven't announced it yet, but yeah, I will be announcing it soon.
Matthew, thanks for joining us. I'll send you on your way. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you very much.
There we are, you can go that way. I know we're sort of enclosed in here, but right, mae digon o rygbi yn dod i chi ar S4C dros y penwythnos. Gawles fi y Lions a'r gêm na Penarth Sadwn yn 5 o'r gloch y gêm yn fyw. Y dreigen erbyn Leinster hefyd yn fyw. A chyfleu ail weld gwelch yn erbyn Glasgow yn 5 munud ar hugain wedi 4. Mae rygbi pawb yn ôl wythnos nesaf, os mae rygbi sy'n diddori chi ysgol Ystela Vera yn erbyn Gŵyr Abertawe. Cyn hynny, mae Cwpan Cymru, mae gweddarllediad o Llanelli yn erbyn Pen y Bont nos yfory am hanner awr wedi 7. Mae digon o bêl dro dros yr wythnos nesaf. Fyd, mae pethau'n glos yng nghanol y tabl llawar. Pen y Bont lan i 7. Ydyn nhw nawr yn gallu pwysio mlaen o fan hyn?
Potential, mae yna ddymder yn ei sgwad nhw, ella sy'n nhw wedi, i fod yn holl onest, sy'n nhw eisiau 5 pwynt na hyn yma, sy'n ni'n feddwl. Ond mae yna bach o fwlch rhwng y 4 ucha yna yn dechrau agor allan, ond mae yna ddigon gyn Pen y Bont i fod yn trio dal nhw fyny yn y 4 ucha yna'n sicr.
A lle fydd y buddigoliaeth gyntaf Castell Nedd yn dod o? Achos nath Ryan siarad yn dda fyna. O'ch chi'n teimlo bod moral yn uchel, ond mae'n challenge nawr, Pontypool sy'n gyda nhw nesaf.
O'n sicr, o'n i weles i'n gynharach. I bod yn deg iddyn nhw, mae'r gym yn diware wedi bod yn erbyn tîmoedd cryf iawn, profiadol iawn. Felly, mae yna ddatblygiad yn dod. Wylen ni unwaith eto ddatblygiad o fewn y garfa. Mae digon o ysbryd yna hefyd. Felly, pwy oer yn erbyn Pontypool falle na, ond bydd y golaeth yna'n dod cyn bo hir.
Diolch i chi'ch ddau. Fyddwn ni nôl ymhen bythefnos. Mae wedi teimlo fel hen gêm gyngrair traddodiadol yn diwe heno. Mewn tywydd nodweddiadol o'r gyngrair yma. Glaw gwyllt, ond dwi'n meddwl dwi'n siarad ar ran Neath yn llawer a fyneb pan dwi'n dweud dys nynlle gwell i fod yn nos iau. Diolch am eich cwmni.